filming and videoing and all the great things he's seen, and all the great memories he's got, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cord won't stretch that far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm not hearing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
This is the output volume right there,
Oh,
but
okay.
we get that too loud, it gets garbled. We can do.
He says we're on. Well, good afternoon, everybody. We'll work through what we can and cannot hear through the course of a little bit of time. Welcome to our webcast this afternoon in front of the Crawfordsville Lebanon baseball matchup. We're certainly looking forward to that, and there'll be some great. Should be a great game. But before we get started, we're gonna dredge up one of the old famous names out of Crawfordsville softball. Cameron Hobson is here with us. So Cam, we're gonna spend a little time before with the Lebanon's still taking infield, so we have a little time to chat. And I know folks through the course of coming back to watch some of these rebroadcasts or watching it live today, going, oh my gosh, Cam Hobson, I haven't heard that name in a minute or two. So let's just start, pick up a spot, and I'll pick up some spots, and tell us what's going on in the life of Cameron Hobson.
Well, right now I'm just getting prepared to go, and I've got signed with a team out of Gary, Indiana.
Okay. The Railbirds?
The Rail Cats.
Rail Cats.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah.
Yes.
Rail something.
Yes.
So yeah,
by the tracks, I know that. So
yeah, I've never been there. But
it's a great new stadium. It's a beautiful facility. I know Purdue plays up there regularly. They played a regional up there a year or two ago, and Purdue qualified for the NCAAs. I think Wabash has played up there just about every year. In fact, I think they played up there just last week. So it's a beautiful stadium, really new. So yeah, so you'll like the facility.
Excellent.
So anyway, I interrupted. So you signed with Gary. So tell us, walk us through some steps. What's the intent? What's going on?
Well, I got released from the Mariners in the off season.
Yep.
It was in November.
Right.
So I spent 5 years with them, and I made it all the way up to AAA, and then obviously I got hurt last year a little bit, a couple times, and didn't get to pitch as much as I'd like to.
Absolutely.
And so now it's just in my opinion, I'm going out there to prove that I'm healthy and I've got what it takes to play in the big leagues, and I'm going to give it another go.
Give it another go, absolutely. So, folks, just to remind, and obviously mostly Crawfordsville fans were tuning into these webcasts, but Cam was on a state championship team here at Crawfordsville High School. Played 2 years at Dayton, 3 years at Dayton, excuse me, and then went into professional baseball with the Mariners and spent those 5 years as you just talked about. You mentioned something about an injury. Tell us what you want to share a little bit about what went on. I know there was a lot of ongoing work and a lot of ongoing rehab and a lot of ongoing throwing.
Yeah, I spent the whole year in Arizona last year with a few stints where I got to actually go play real baseball.
Yep.
But Arizona was where our spring training place was, and that's where they send all the people to do rehab. But basically what it was just in my elbow. It was a flexor tendon.
Yep.
Is what they call it. Golfer's elbow is another name for it.
Sure.
But yeah, it was just hurt to throw, and so every time I'd go out there and I'd rehab it, and I'd feel all right, and then it would just come back, And so, I dealt with that from spring training all the way through the end of the season, and finally by the end of the season I was feeling good again. But it was over.
It was the end of the season. So,
yeah.
So is the flexor condition and all? Is it a past you thing? Did you is it a deal that you don't have to be concerned about going into the future?
I think it's something I need to always keep an eye on.
Okay.
Because anytime you get an overuse injury or something like that, just from all I've done for 5 years in professional baseball is throw baseball every day.
Right.
So I need to stick with basically a whole rehab routine that I've been doing ever since I got hurt, and it's just building the strength up in there and getting it back into baseball shape and being able to go and throw hundreds and hundreds of pitches a year.
Got it. Now, you mentioned that it's an overuse injury, and that's certainly something that I know baseball fans can relate to. That's the sort of things that you then have to be extremely careful about how quickly you come back, how much rehab you do. So the Mariners had you on a program, and you got solid by the end of the season. Are you working with somebody then with your rehab program, another coach, another program, whatever?
Well, basically, took all the rehab and it was all written out and everything that I could do, and I kind of adapted that to what I could do at where at my house basically and train. And I've got a few tools and physio balls and all these things that I can use and just basically just go ahead and be my own rehab specialist.
Got it.
But I mean, I'm basically what it is now is just I'm just doing it to prevent an injury. It's not like I need to go through rehab, but it's just a good thing to keep up on.
So what you're doing now, before heading to Gary, is more strength and conditioning than it is rehab. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah. Well, I think there's different aspects to training for a professional sport, and one would be strength and conditioning and like just getting yourself prepared to play the sport, and the other one is just managing injuries and
absolutely
and being making sure that you can endure the whole long season and be able to throw every day and be reliable.
Got it. So we're heading to Gary. When are you heading to Gary?
On May 5th.
Got it. Oh, that's right around the corner.
Right. Yeah, but the season doesn't start. I think it's the 21st or the 24th. I can't remember what day it is, but it starts a little bit later, and it's weird because I've never been here at this time of year.
Yep.
Spring training usually started. We'd go, and I think it was March 3rd was usually the date or something like that.
Pitchers always report early.
Right. So I'd go there, in March, and now this year I've been, here in Atlanta and everywhere, and it's weird being around, seeing it get warm.
Yes. Well, you saw it get warm in March, and then you saw it get cold in April. So, but I think we're kind of getting into the regular routine of spring. Yeah. And I saw that it was 80s farther south of us today. So, who knows? It may turn from spring to winter to summer in a big hurry. So May 5th we're heading to Gary, and is that the start of what we would call spring training, or is it kind of a tryout, or kind of what is the scenario up there?
Yeah, I've never done this before, but from what I've gathered, it's both. It's a spring training and it's a tryout. So I think what they do is they'll sign some guys that used to play with organizations like me, and then they sign some guys out of college that maybe just graduated college. They're looking to keep playing.
Got it.
And then they take the 12 best pitchers, 30, or whatever it is. 13 best. And then they just go from there. So their whole goal, our whole goal is to win games.
Absolutely.
It's a little bit different in the minor leagues because in the minor leagues, the big league club wants you to win games, but they also want to keep their prospects healthy, and they want to have guys to win games in the big league. So it's going to be a little bit different for me.
Right.
But I think it'll be more fun and more competitive, which will be good.
Through the course of your years with the Mariners, I know you didn't. You got some starts. You did some relief work. What's the prospect at Gary? Or have you talked to them about it? Do they want you to be a starting pitcher, throw a ton of innings like you used to throw in high school and like you threw at Dayton? Or are they saying, hey, we really like you for a couple, some middle inning relief work? Setup man, closer, who knows?
Yeah. As far as what role I would have, I'm not sure, but I talked to them and with some scouts that I've been kept up with over the years, and they seem to think that my best role would be in the bullpen.
Okay.
And I know I've done a lot of starting. The first 4 years all I did was start.
Yep.
Then I got a little bit of bullpen time my second year in Jackson, and then last year, which. And of course, I was hurt,
it was awful.
I have a little bit of experience in the pen, but
Got it. So using an old an HR, say, well, what do you want to be doing in 5 years? What does this season? What would if you could walk into Gary and say, all right, everything's all set up, we're ready to go, first game of the season. I want to be a starter. I want to be what's in the best interest of Cam Hobson?
I think in the best interest of me would probably be to relieve.
Okay.
Just
so that you throw fewer innings.
So it's fewer innings at a time.
Got it.
I guess in the end it would end up being a few more less innings, but you're ready to go every night. They can use you how they want.
Sure.
And I think that's the kind of role that I'm going for.
That's great. And then playing with Gary obviously keeps you in the eye of scouts, professional developer, anybody or up and down the major league element. So what would be the optimum thing to happen through the course of the early part of the season? Would a team, say, man, Cam Hobson's really tearing it up at Gary. We need to get him on a some kind of a contract. Is that a doable deal?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common thing. Guys will go to independent ball, and and what they want to see is improvement, or they want to see something like to set you apart from the rest of the guys.
Yes.
And if I'm better than a guy that they have in the organization, then somebody will want me probably.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
It's just all I can do is control what I can do. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play and I'm going to do my best, and let the pieces fall where they may.
Keep your exposure out there, and you're obviously going to be watched by the right people, because I'm certainly. It's certainly obvious that Major League Baseball has got scouts everywhere. Whether it's a team scout or there's somebody that they're paying. So you'll certainly be watched by the right people through the course of the summer.
Yeah, definitely. And it might not be every game like it was, in AA and AAA or whatever. You go to a AAA game and there's 5 scouts behind there with radar guns and video cameras.
Sure.
But you'll definitely have my opportunity to be seen. So it's just a matter of taking advantage when I do, and pitching well,
and then we certainly wish you nothing but the best of luck and a continued success, through that. Who else, for folks watching and listening, who else is in the Gary radar? Who will they be playing? Can folks go catch a Cam Hobson appearance somewhere without having to go all the way to Jackson, Mississippi?
Yeah, it's a little bit closer than Jackson, but the closest place I think is Gary. Okay. And there's some teams, and I know there's a team in Sioux Falls.
South Dakota, cousin center of the universe. I'm from South Dakota, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, so,
the Canaries.
Yeah.
Been to many games at that old stadium.
Yeah. So there's quite a few. There's a team in Texas, and there's a few other teams.
Very good. Camp, don't want to interrupt, but we have to join Dave Raynard and the PA system for our playing of our national anthem. Well, Cam, I got a bunch more questions that we're never going to get in before the start of the game. But does working at Gary, playing at Gary, then is that going to be like you live in Gary? That's a major, big-time 120-game schedule sort of deal?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many games there are, but it's going to be similar to a full season. It's not going to be 140 or 160 like they do.
No, but starting on May 21st, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to catch that number.
Right. So we're going to miss a month and a half basically, and then we're going to play the rest of the season out.
That's great.
That's kind of the way it's going to go.
And how do you feel about your chances? Obviously, I know you're a confident guy, and I know you've been successful, your entire life doing all the many things that you have done. How does this look today?
I'm going to do what I can, and I always think I'm going to succeed, and I don't see why this is going to be any different.
Well, on behalf of everybody who has followed your career since you were a little guy and turned you into a big guy, helping to win a state championship for Crawfordsville and your success in college and your success in the professional ranks, we wish you nothing but bigger and better things. So
yeah, I appreciate it, and I know I've had a lot of support from back home, when I've been out on the road, and people are following. So, I'm glad to have that little support base too.
That sounds great. So, tell you what, if you want to hang around here in the broadcast booth, you got a familiar face right here with your dad, sitting right next to us. He's going to help us with the webcast. We'd be glad to have some more. I'd like to hear some of your thoughts about Crawfordsville baseball.
Yeah, I can say on the mic. Yeah.
So very good, very good. So you and Dad, we got to make sure and get the dulcet tones of Dale Hobson in there as well. So we have got, as you see on your cameras, we are just getting ready to start. Crawfordsville taking the field, and certainly a very successful season for Crawfordsville thus far. 12-3 overall, 6-0 in the conference. They beat Lebanon 5-0 a couple of nights ago on a 9-strikeout full game effort by Trent Johnson, who won his 6th game of the season. I want to talk about a guy who's having a good success. Trent Johnson's certainly off to a good start.
Right. Of course, I actually saw Trent. I worked with him in the off seasons a couple of years, and Chase Dow too is on the mound today, and both of them have really live arms. And the main thing that I saw with Trent, who I believe he pitched on Tuesday.
Yes.
He has a great slider.
Okay.
And
that's become his next pitch. So.
Right, and good movement on his fastball, which that was foul.
Boy, that was just foul. This is Bryce Shear for Lebanon, who is leading off the top of the first inning for the Tigers. We're mentioning Chase Dow. Just a quick note on Chase. This is his 6th start, 5-0 in 5 starts. We'll get some more data on him. Just having a spectacular start of the season. So, quick 2 strikes on Shear. This Lebanon team has found it difficult to get some hits. They, on the season, as this pitch is outside and in the dirt, good waste pitch, they're hitting 144 on the season. They are averaging only 1.5 runs in their 6 losses. They're averaging less than 3 runs a game for the entire year. So, and they got some really bad news today. Their outstanding pitcher and Vanderbilt signee, Ryan Schaller, or not Ryan, Reed Schaller, is having knee surgery next week. Knee surgery. He tore a meniscus, and they think the meniscus problem over the last 5-6 months, this ball was fouled into the fence, led to all the elbow problems he's been having during the off season. So,
wow.
So he has been. I don't know if he's shut down today. I saw him on the backup on the reserve list, so he may be able to pinch hit or something like that. But he's done throwing for the Tigers for this year.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. Guys they'll get injury in their knee or their hips or something like that, and actually one of my best friends that I played with for a long time ended up that happened to him.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, you compensate for a knee injury or a hip injury, and all of a sudden, it leads to an elbow or a shoulder, and that can be a lot worse.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Shearer has fouled a couple off. Count stands at 2-2 here as Dowell, the righty, usually works really fast and sets up. Here's another foul ball. So the 8th pitch of the at bat is coming up. He in 6 innings on Saturday at Frankfort, Dowell threw 60 pitches. He didn't throw 6 pitches in an inning a couple times. So Shearer is working him hard here. As the opening batter of this Sagamore Conference matchup. The Tigers 3-6 overall, 2-4 in the conference.
If you're Lebanon, that's what you want to see, too, is, they might not hit very well. They might be hitting 140 on the year.
There's a high foul ball, drifts to the right, Wynn's got it. Oh, wow. Edwards just about had a bite of a dugout roof there. Not able to fling it down. Tommy Edwards had a long stretch for it. It was a long run. The wind's blowing just a little bit that direction. I think he could have had it otherwise. So the 9th pitch of the at-bat is coming up for Bryce Shear. Hitting 160 on the season. One of the brighter spots of this Tigers. 4 runs, 4 hits, 3 RBIs coming from that leadoff spot. Dowell works and fires. Off speed, called, 3rd strike. That's that knee-bending curveball. Yeah, we saw that. I saw that a couple times at Frankfurt. We've seen it over the course of the year. Dowell is not a spectacular strikeout guy, but he's always around the plate. Throws tons of strikes. He has 6 walks, 18 strikeouts coming into today, so that's obviously strike number 19. He's actually hit as many guys as he's walked. So,
hey, that's Crawfordsville's philosophy is getting inside, pitching inside, and if guys are going to stand on the plate, then you're going to go inside and you're going to hit a few guys. Zach
Defoe is next up for the Tigers. He's hitting 190 on the season. You'll see through the course of our numbers here, guys, that the first 4 hitters for the Tigers have what little bit of offense they've been able to generate. Here's a foul ball down the 3rd baseline, so the count evens at 1-1. So the Tigers, who got no hit by Western Boone in their very first conference game of the season. And as we noted, stand 2-4 in the Sagamore right now. Dowell works and fires. Inside, gets the corner.
He got a big corner.
He got a big corner. That looked like a slow pitch strike zone corner up there. So, as a pitcher, Cam, you got to be happy with nice big wide corners, right?
Oh yeah, you can sit there all day.
Foul ball, back to the fence.
Gave me a little bit more plate on that one.
There you go. So you talked about that you're working with Chase in the off season a little bit. What were you working with him on?
Actually, I worked with a lot of the pitchers. They would throw bullpens a couple times a week, and I'd try to get in there when I could.
Okay.
And basically, with Chase he's got a really good fastball. That looked like a foul. He's got a great fastball. His fastball moves a lot, and it's tough to hit. And he's got a slider, and he's got that. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes he loses a little bit of control.
Sometimes it doesn't slide.
Right. Right. So yeah.
Was that a slider that struck out Shearer on the first at bat?
I think it was, yeah. So right there.
Oh wow. That even fooled the umpire. That one even fooled the umpire. We'll just leave it at that. So that evens the count at 2-2. But it's already 16. This is the 16th pitch. Second guy up. He gave him that.
That was farther outside than the other one too.
That was not a good strike. But as the old theory goes, if you see the first one and they give it to you, you better not give it. You better not take the second one.
Yeah.
So that brings up Caleb Myers, 2 up and 2 strikeouts for Chase Dowell. Myers at 278. He is the second leading hitter on the Tigers team. 5 runs, 5 hits, 6 RBIs.
Let's see if Chase can get out of here without using too many more pitches.
There we go. Called strike. I know that some of our other expert analysts, like the young Mr. Hobson sitting over here with us, and others, coaches and people we've talked to, 15 pitches an inning, is kind of, for high school pitching, is kind of that drive line. You don't want to get very many more than that. So.
Right. Yeah, and that's just to allow your pitcher to work deep into the game.
Yep.
Especially in high school, you've got usually 2 or 3 guys, maybe 1 or 2. Oh,
here's a drive. Is it going to stay fair? Just foul. Just foul. I was concerned that the wind was going to hang that one up because that was kind of going right against the wind, but it's nothing but a long strike. The count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Caleb Myers comes back to the plate. He got a good turn on that one.
Yeah, was that a curveball?
I would guess.
I think it was. I don't think you're going to see that pitch again this at bat.
1-2, certainly a good spot for Dowell to work whatever he wants. Throws a heater outside, evens the count at 2-2. So we're getting about to the 20 pitch level for Chase Dowell, and Chase did not throw 20 in a single inning on Saturday. And there's a drive out to center field, but it's going to stay up in the air long enough. And Sam Lucas, who has got really good range, that young man's got really good range, flags it down. So it's 3 up, 3 down for the Athenians. And Cam Hobson with us a little bit. Cam, tell us a little bit more. So what's the, heading to Gary for a tryout and spring training for to play with those guys? Tell us a little bit about others. What else is going on in your life?
I got engaged this offseason.
Oh, congratulations. Fiancé. Fiancé is French for sucker, I think. That's what that's so who's the lucky young gal?
Her name's Devin Bryant.
Okay.
And I met her in college, and we've been dating ever since. So, finally pulled the trigger.
There you go. Have you set a date?
Yeah, in December. This year.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, so.
Kind of working around the baseball schedule, right?
Yeah, we thought about, of all the times of a year, that'd be the most out of the way. So.
Just don't get married like between Christmas and New Year's.
No.
With a brother who did that one time, and then that was in Minnesota. It was the coldest. It was the coldest day of the century. It was like 25 below zero in the morning up there, and the flowers froze. We literally were trying to run the flowers out of the church to get them into a warm car to just take them to the reception hall, and in those few seconds of running those flowers out to the cars, the petals all froze.
Oh my goodness.
And half of them fell off. But it's been good. It's been something that my brother and his wife have been able to talk about they've been married for 30 years now, and they're just 3 great kids, and but my advice from a guy who's never been married is, just don't get married between Christmas and New Year's.
So, I've avoided that, but barely. So we'll cross our fingers that it's not that cold.
There you go. What have you been able to? I know you've been working with the pitchers in the off season. Have you been able to get out and watch a few of the Athenian games through the course of the early part of the season?
No, this is my first one.
Oh, good. Well, I think you're gonna enjoy it. The Athenians are playing good baseball. They are one of the two unbeaten left in the Sagamore Conference. They're 12-3 overall, 6-0. Had a good trip to Tennessee where they got 2 of those 3 losses, and have put some nice numbers up on the board and have been impressive early on. Trent Johnson leads things off. He takes a ball. Hitting .333 on the season, Trent leads the team with 19 runs scored. He has 8 RBIs, mostly because he's on base too many times to knock anybody in, and has 16 hits. Another one inside.
Looked like it got his sleeve right there.
Yeah,
slider. He's threw a strike in the warm-up.
So on the mound is Tyler Wellborn for Lebanon. Wellborn here as this next pitch comes. Does get the outside corner. First called strike. 0-2 on the season is the Lebanon's thrower. This is his 3rd appearance. I was not able to find if this is his 3rd start or not. Next pitch coming. Outside, 3-1. 3rd appearance, 0-2, 22 innings pitched, 17 hits, 14 runs, but only 7 earned runs. So he has not had a very good support in the field. 11 walks, but 33 strikeouts. So 3-1 strikeout rate.
That's a good ratio.
But he walks the first guy here, and I'm going to guess. Cam, I know you've seen it for years and years and years, and you know the philosophy of the Crawfordsville hitters, is that you're going to make them work, you're going to get too close to the plate. My guess is that some of his strikeouts were probably freebies, and he's not going to get very many freebies today.
No, I don't think so. And we're going to make him work. And I know Lebanon, that must have been their game plan because they did a good job in the first inning, but that's been Cardinals' game plan from day one.
Absolutely. Brendan Dowell next up at the plate, playing third base again this afternoon. If this is not your first game watching the Athenians on the webcast, you'll know the lineup is exactly the same. It's been the same, I think, for all 16 games. Dowell hits .333, 16 runs, scored 7 RBIs, 16 hits. Casual throw over to first base. And Dowell has been asked to bunt a few times, but there's also been times when Johnson's been standing at second base with a double, and he's been able to hit the ball well. As I said, 16 base knocks. There is a bunt. Straight out. Wellborn's going to go straight over to first base without even looking to second. And the Athenians get the sacrifice. It's 1-3 if you're scoring it at home. Johnson moves to second base. Hey, Crawfordsville, who surprisingly is playing small ball today, right?
Setting the table right here for Caden Jones.
Yep.
So that's he did his job, and now we're going to hit him in.
Caden Jones hitting .365, 16 runs scored, 18 RBIs, second best on the team, 19 hits, his best on the team. He has the only home run and the only triple thus far this year for the Athenians. So there's one that gets away from Wellborn, and Jones certainly has the capability of knocking a letter off the signs in the fence. So
I'm a little surprised he bunted there. He's only thrown 1 strike, and we gave him an out.
Yep. Pitch on the misses outside. Ball 2. Out of the stretch. And the pitch.
There it is.
Swinging away. There's a drive out to center field. Johnson can advance on the tag up and does so on the fly ball to center field by Jones. So Crawfordsville gets a guy at third, but now they're going to need a base hit or a wild pitch or a fast ball or something like that to get the first run of the game across. Chase Dowell, certainly the guy that can get that done. 15 RBIs, hitting in the full position. Chase hitting .268 on the season, 11 hits, as I noted, 15 RBIs, 8 runs scored himself. So Crawfordsville really spreads the hitting, the RBIs, the runs scored, spreads them up and down the board, and we get down to the guys Edwards and Lucas down in that 8-9 spot. They got numbers almost as good.
Right, yeah, I was talking to Coach Froese today, and I think he said third in RBIs on the team was the 9-hole, Lucas.
Yes, he's got 10. Yeah, double digit RBIs. That senior has paid a lot of dues and has earned a spot for this season.
Right, and that's for a role player too. I mean, a guy that hasn't played a lot of varsity, and he's getting a chance this year at center field. He's got great on defense. He's tall and he can cover a lot of ground, and he's producing at the plate. So I mean, that's exactly what Coach Froege and Coach Wolver are asking.
Pop foul. That's going to get out of play over to the soggy softball field to our right. Count goes to 1-2. Yeah, it was a game or two ago, and Sam came up. He got on base 4 times. You know, I think he had 2 hits and a walk, or 2 hits, a walk, and got hit. You know, drove in 2, scored 1. You know, all out of the 9 spot. So yeah, when your 9 guy does that, then you know those guys at the top of the order, they got to like that, knowing they got somebody to drive in. Dowell's got to fight one off though. Here he's got a 1-2 count off the surface.
He scored a lot of runs with 2 outs on the year, I think.
Yep, and I believe a good comment by Darryl Hobson there that a lot of 2-out runs have been scored this season. This one misses to even the count at 2-2. I believe that all 5 Tuesday runs were scored with 2 outs. So, as, if I remember the story as I read it on Wednesday morning, and a whole bunch of hits. Several of the hits all came when the guys were behind in the count.
Oh, okay.
Hit him. Got it on. Got it.
What do they call that? A foul ball?
I'll call it a foul ball.
Oh, there's no way that could have been a foul ball because it either hit him or
no way it hit the bat.
It didn't hit the bat.
Brings a meeting of the coaches.
Coach complain about that.
Coach Rick Cosgray is just. Coach Cosgray is going to say, after having watched Crawfordsville hitters over the years, knows that Crawfordsville works close to the plate. You know, he wants to say that his guy stuck his elbow out.
He also was complaining about the previous pitch down right below the knees. He's saying that was.
Well, you're going to go out there to complain. You might as well complain about a bunch of stuff, you know. So that's right.
Pass.
That's right. So we're going to have a conference of the Blues out behind the pitcher's mound. Coach Fred just walked away. He got his point in.
So I guess they're determining whether or not he leaned into the pitch or if it hit him or if it was a foul ball. I can't.
Sure.
I'm not. So they're going to call a ball.
They're overruled. So they call a foul ball. Okie doke. So that keeps the count even at 2-2. Chase Dowell again, back to the box. 2-2, 2 outs. Runner on third. Trent Johnson looking to give the Athenians a lead in the first inning, in what is always a big Sagamore Conference matchup between these two rivals. Pop fly, drifting out.
That's a win today.
Yeah, not a win, but got the catch. They're not fly balls, they're adventures. So the Athenians don't get the guy across. No runs and no hits as Johnson led off with a walk. There were no errors and the one man left on base. So Wellborn goes 5, 6, 9, 15 pitches. So both pitchers are a little bit extended as Chase Dowell went to 21 pitches to get his 3 outs, including 2 strikeouts. From what you've seen, what you know, this is a young Crawfordsville baseball team, Cam Hobson. So, you know, it's certainly it's got to be great, you know, from what all the experiences you had, knowing that there's young guys playing well. But as from your years as junior, senior, and a leader, does that ever scare you? Hoping go out, kind of hope these freshmen and sophomores continue on.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think as a player, you're kind of focused on what you can do, and just trying to get everybody to rally together.
Yep.
And you're going to have young guys and they're going to make mistakes, but I also think that they're going to get a lot better over the course of the year too. So by the time the tourney comes around and you got 7 games or whatever it is now to win a state championship, I think that they're going to be pretty well prepared to do that.
That's a good point. And some guys are in new positions. Weston Evans is behind the plate. Relatively new for him. He didn't catch a whole lot prior to this year. You've got Peyton Abney, who has moved to second base and has done a really good job at second base. He is. I think he's only got. I can look at the fielding stuff here. Graciously given some. Do I have fielding stats? No, everything's all batting and pitching. So I don't have his chances, but I know he has had a very, very good early part of the season. So again, guy, and we talked about Sam Lucas, the senior, getting his first opportunity to play, doing a solid job in center field. Kellerman and Edwards have done a good job platooning back and forth at first base.
Right. Yeah. So those are both freshmen, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's a rip down the line. Misses the dugout. This is Jackson Bland, cleanup hitter for the Tigers. He's the leading hitter on the Lebanon team, hitting .333. 8 hits, 2 runs scored, and with those hits, he does not have an RBI. So that just goes to show. We talked about this when he fights this one off foul. This Lebanon team has really struggled to get runs across.
Yeah, that's tough when your number 4 hitter doesn't have an RBI on the year.
Yeah, especially even though it's only their 10th game, it's that's not something you like to see. There are a couple of guys in the lineup, and there's a swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout already for Chase Dow. There are 3 guys in the bottom half of the order hitting 0-0-0. So,
well, there's only one way to go from there.
Yeah, that's right. So Evan Stambaugh is next up for the Tigers. He's hitting 105. 2 hits and a run scored on the year. Stambaugh's playing at second base. He flagged down that last little pop fly by Chase Dell. Inside.
And like we were talking about with Chase and that slider, it looks like he's starting to get a good feel of it this game too. And he's thrown a couple of them, and both of them have been that good break and right where he wants to on the location down and away.
Yep, there's a swing and a miss. Cam, question. 21 pitches in the first inning. Does Coach Welliver, does Chase, does he look at that after the first inning and goes, wow, that's a lot of pitches? Do you change your pitching plan at all, going into the second and third inning, or you just say, no, this is our plan? There's a shot down the baseline.
I think you got to look back at the inning and you got to say, do I need to change my plan?
Okay.
And then if the answer is yes, then obviously you're going to go down that route. But if you say the one guy, the leadoff Scher, I believe.
Fouled off.
He had a great at bat. I think it was a 10 pitch at bat and 9 pitch at bat. So there's 9 pitches right there. You can't really do much about that. The guy's got good eye-hand coordination. He's fouling off pitches, and you're not wasting pitches.
Got it.
So if he'd have gone and went 3 balls on 3-0 on a couple guys, and he's battling back, then you might want to change your plan.
Got it.
Get ahead.
Because I was just wondering, because a strikes pitcher like Chase, and who tries to be efficient with his numbers, if you say, gosh, with all those pitches, do I stop nibbling at the corners? Do I throw more fastballs, throw fewer fastballs? There's a ground ball that Abney fields and cleanly gets over to first. 2 up, 2 out to start the top of the second inning.
Right. Well, with a weak inning team, you have to basically you got to just make them put the ball in play and get themselves out. You got 3 guys that are hitting 0-0-0 on the year. Mm-hmm. You don't want to give them a hanging curveball that they can hit. You just want to throw the fastball down low.
There you go.
And chances are they're not going to be able to do much with it.
Well, this is one of the 0-0-0 hitters that Hayden Parker makes good contact, but hits it straight out to left field. So I was all worried about this pitch count thing. We managed to talk all the way through it, and we got 9 pitches there. So
there we go.
So now Chase.
Right on track.
So Chase goes from my red line or my orange line to my white line. So he goes now 30 pitches in 2 innings. So see how it is? You just talked me right out of my worries. So
yeah, and even you got the 2 outs right there, and you've thrown a lot of pitches. Even if he grooves him a fastball like he did right there, and he got a good piece of it, chances are it's going to be an out anyways.
Right.
So you just. Sometimes you're willing to give up a base hit to save some pitches.
There you go. Challenge that guy and just see what goes on. So,
right.
So anyways, we could keep on moving here as Tyler Wellborn, who got out of just a little bit of a jam in the bottom of the first inning as Trent Johnson walked and eventually made his way to third base, but did not score. We'll face 5, 6, 7 for from the Crawfordsville hitting staff, hitting. None of those first 3 guys hitting at 300 yet, but certainly some big, decent power numbers. Weston Evans, 8 RBIs, a couple of 3 doubles. Josh Blackburn's up next, 11 runs scored, 7 RBIs, 11 hits, and Peyton Abney has gotten his average back up now. He's up to 282, 12 runs scored, 11 hits, 7 RBIs. So, you know what, that's pretty darn good for a 5, 6, 7 bunch.
Oh, absolutely. And this is the part of the lineup that they need to produce if they really want to, do something special this year too. Is you're going to have your guys at the top that are going to do well, and your Caden Jones and your Trent Johnson. But how's a guy like Weston Evans going to hit? How are these guys going to do? And are they going to be able to get on base, move runners, do the little things, the fundamental things that Coach Froge preaches to get runs?
That's exactly it. We'll see how things go. They have done well so far because I know I like to Heritage Christian game, the very first game of the season. The last four guys in the batting order scored like 9 runs. You know, I mean, they were just on base all the time, and then the top of the order drove them all in. And we've had a couple other games. It's what we've seen with this Crawfordsville bunch early in this season, Cam, is that the top of the order usually gets that 3 or 4 runs that you expect as the first pitch is in for a strike. But when the bottom guys get their 4 or 5 in, then you're usually playing less than 7 innings.
Exactly, and that's what you want, especially with Crawfordsville having a game today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
Yep.
You want to save pitching as much as possible, and if you can just throw 5 innings, then that saves you 2 innings right there. You know?
Yep. The Athenians have a road game tomorrow night at Benton Central, and then they're back home for is it Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, I believe?
Night, 11 o'clock here.
As against Covington. So next pitch. So misses a bunch up and out. 2-1. So Covington's got a scheduling issue to deal with too, because they got rained out with their WRC game with Fountain Central, and that game has been rescheduled for Saturday. So I was talking with Crawfordsville Athletic Director Bryce Barton about half an hour before the game as that next pitch is low. He has not been contacted by Covington about postponing or canceling the game, so we're guessing that the Trojans will probably come here and play at 11 and then probably go to Fountain Central and play in the afternoon. So
it's going to be a long day for them.
Yeah, there's a called strike. The count goes full. Although we see that happen, and a week from Saturday, the Athenians and the Chargers will split opponents. Peru and who's the other team? I can't think of it right now.
Hunter, North Indiana.
Yeah, there's one about a 7-hopper to short and
almost beat it out.
Yep.
That's the difference between the shortstop and the catcher right there. You know, if the shortstop beats that out, and the catcher's still running.
That's it. So Evans goes out 6-3 and on a full count. We were talking about Weston hitting .222, 3 runs for 8 RBIs, 8 hits on the year, 3 doubles. Next up is Josh Blackburn. Blackburn's got 4 doubles on the year. He's hitting .262. He scored 11 runs. He's got 11 hits and has driven in 7.
Blackburn's got a really, really good swing. He's just, he doesn't move a lot, doesn't have a lot of flying parts, and he just kind of rotates and puts the ball in play.
I like that. Doesn't have a lot of flying parts. Are arms and legs flying parts? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you get especially with pitchers, you get a guy out there, and he's, everything's all over the place, elbows are going up, and this is, for a hitter, to have a quiet swing is what we like to call it.
There you go.
And he's got it.
Takes a breaker on his second pitch and gets into a jam, and now he's fouls one off straight back. It's still 0-2. So 1 out, bottom of 2, no score here at Crawfordsville High School. The clouds gathering a little thicker. It was a little sunnier this afternoon, although I heard that they had a flat-out cloudburst here at 2 o'clock. This one goes straight up in the air. I think the wind's going to blow it into... Somebody just about lost their popcorn over there. A couple of young ladies were walking around the backside, and the foul ball landed literally about a foot between each of them. So Providence looks out for the young girls not paying too much attention. So still continues to be an 0-2 count here. Blackburn will look at his 5th pitch of the at-bat. Got told.
Got him with a low fastball right there.
Yep.
I think that
Cam, you were a good hitter when you played with the Athenians. Is that a scenario where you're looking for a different pitch, or just got fooled totally by the pitch that got thrown?
I think he just missed it. I mean, I wouldn't imagine, from what I've seen, the off-speed doesn't seem like it's something to worry about too much. He hasn't thrown for a strike much, but I think he threw a fastball, and the hardest thing for a hitter to do is to judge up and down.
Yeah.
Because you can see in and out, where's the ball going?
Yep.
But up and down is the hardest thing, what were the pitcher's name? All right, so he throws from a high arm slot, and it kind of comes down towards the plate. So it's tough for the hitters to see that.
Okay.
So that's really probably where he's going to get a lot of his outs is just moving that ball down and up.
There you go. So he's quickly up 0-2 on Peyton Abney, as Abney took a strike and fouled the second one back. Peyton on the season, .282 hitter, 12 runs, 11 hits, 7 RBIs. This pitch misses up. The fastball isn't as fast as what I'm used to seeing from some of the other conference pitchers. Yeah. So when I'm looking at one or two of those, I think, that looks off speed, but didn't have any break on it. So
Yeah, and that's another thing is just getting the timing back, from going from a guy and, seeing guys that are throwing mid-80s and then going to a guy that's maybe mid-70s, maybe upper 70s, and it's a difference.
Charlestown. Okay, thank you. So thank you, Mr. Duggar. 3 hopper to short. Clean. Oh, no good. In the dirt. Moving up. So Peyton Abney reaches on the E6. And the Athenians have a duck on with 2 outs. Tommy Edwards next up for Crawfordsville, hitting .241 on the year. 7 hits, 6 runs, 7 RBIs, hitting in the number 8 position. So Caleb Myers had a couple good chances in the first couple of times, but was not able to come up with one here. Edwards. Oops.
Oh, there's the ethos.
Yes. So is that a breaker that just gets away from
I think he's just, his breaking ball is just not quite there yet.
Okay, just not spinning it properly.
Yeah, it's just popping out of his hand, and it's the catcher standing up to catch it every time. It's just really a non-competitive pitch, so that just leaves him with the fastball.
Okay, and here's one right down the first base line, and it stays in fair territory, but the out is registered anyway. So the Athenians leave another guy in scoring position. No runs on no hits. There was 1 Lebanon air and 1 guy left on base. 6-11, 18 pitches. So both pitchers in that 30-ish range. 33 for Wellborn, and we talked about Chase Dowell a moment ago, and he's got 30 on the year. We were getting some information from young Mr. Duggar. Next, not this Saturday, but a week from Saturday is always a fun day, for if folks, if you're listening now, watching now, or watching in the next, sometime before the first Saturday of May. The Chargers and the Athenians bring two good teams come into town, and then they play double headers, and it's Peru and Charlestown coming into play, and both teams play at North and at Crawfordsville at about 11, and then at about 1:30, 2 o'clock, then the 2 road teams just switch, and so is it Charlestown first here?
Yeah.
And so the 11 o'clock game is Saturday will be Crawfordsville-Charlestown, and then the 2 o'clock-ish game will be Crawfordsville-Peru. And Crawfordsville has already played Peru once, beating them in a great game, a really, really good game, in the consolation match of the Athenian Invitational. So I had a real nice chat with the Peru coach, and he was just all about coming down. He says, come down. Of course, Carmel was down here, and Central Catholic was down here. And Crawfordsville, at that time, all 4 teams were ranked. For the Invitational. He said, we're coming back down. He said, and he knew North Montgomery and the Chargers are unbeaten in the conference right now and having a great season. They have an 8-game winning streak going into today's game. So it's certainly, everybody's going to see some pretty good competition.
Yeah, that's great, and that really makes me look forward to Cardsville versus North a little later on in the year. So,
it's a big game no matter what.
Yeah, it's always big.
And you know that better than I do. I mean, I just get to cover them, and you've played in a bunch of them,
right?
But man, when you've got the conference on the line and all kinds of stuff, all that bragging rights. Next pitch on the outside corner, 2 quick strikes on. This is Tyler Wellborn, the pitcher. He is 1 for 9 on the season, batting .111. So no runs, no hits, no errors for him, and he gets timeout.
He just needs a few more plate appearances, get a bigger sample size there.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to drag out the roster here. And he is pitch swing and a miss.
Oh my!
He is
fell down.
Yeah. They do not have. Oh, here it is. He's a sophomore. Wellborn is a sophomore. So
it looked like he got fooled on that, but that was just a fastball away, I think.
Yep.
He took a swing and a miss and did the full twirly and fell down on his butt on the plate.
All right. Back to the dugout. Brings up the number 8 hitter, Benji Hudson, the second of the 3 OOOs. Takes a called strike.
It looks like Chase is really getting into a groove right now.
Well, I think he's decided that these 5 through 9 hitters are not going to. They're not going to see much here.
Yeah,
so.
and that might also be what Coach Welver's whispering in his ear in the dugout too.
There's a pop fly, and
There you
Edwards calls off the pitcher and takes it in fair territory, just barely, for out number 2.
So we've seen him really improve his pitch count right now.
We're going to drop into the green line here before too long.
Yeah, he might get out of this game in under 50 pitches.
There you go. And here's the third 0-0 hitter, Nick Bland, the right fielder, and he only has 6 plate appearances, so not that big a deal yet. He hasn't played a lot. He did get on base one time and did score a run. It was on a walk and scored, and he has an RBI. So did not say in the notes how that happened. So he could have walked with the bases loaded. He could have sacrificed a guy in. Any of those possibilities. So nice to have a 0-0-0 batting order as he hits a little flare out to short. So second pitch hitting, and put it down as an F6 instead of an L6. Johnson comes up with it, and the Athenians get Lebanon out in order for the 3rd time in a row. 3, 5, 7 pitches now. So now we're 37.
Yeah,
into 3,
and that's a good pace. That's textbook pitching right there. Just going after the hitters that down the order, and not a great hitting team. So just getting ahead and getting them out. So
there you
that's
go.
the way to do it.
Cam, changing the topic completely. You get when you start playing with Gary, when you get out to Sioux Falls, you'll have to let your dad know or give me a holler, because I've got several relatives and family members all living in the Sioux Falls area, and they go to baseball games a lot. So if players come up with free tickets, as we always say, if it's free, it's for me, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to come out and cheer on Cam Hobson from Crawfordsville, Indiana. One of my sisters who lives in Sioux Falls, she and her husband drove out last Saturday. 650 miles to Crawfordsville for my birthday party. Wow, crazy thing. So we at least owe them a reply. And Darren Haas, local official, former teacher and official in the Crawfordsville school system, and does tons of officiating, was talking about he has been to Brookings, South Dakota, to do a couple South Dakota State games over the years. So he said he does have access to free tickets when they get out there. So if he goes out there and happens to do an FCS football game or something, he said he'd give me a call, and he said he can line up some stuff. So
that would have been a good one to go to. You got to see Carson Wentz while he was there too.
Yes. And South Dakota State gave North Dakota State all they wanted, not only in the regular season game and lost by 3, they lost to them in the playoffs by a touchdown. And of course, North Dakota State went on to win their 5th consecutive national championship.
Yeah, that's some good FCS football up in that area.
Yeah, it sure is. So the Athenians are going to go 9-1-2 here, but finishing that thought off, where the Canaries play is about a 60-year-old baseball place. So it's a classic old place. Advertising all along the outfield fence. So you'll enjoy it. It reminds me a lot of Columbia Park with about 2,000 more seats.
Okay.
So,
well, sounds like a minor league park.
It sure is. And they always get good crowds. They always get really nice crowds. So
that's great.
Lucas still trying to catch up on the 62-mile-an-hour fastball here. Falls behind 0-2. Lucas batting .258 on the season. 8 hits, 9 runs, 10 RBIs.
And it looks like he's trying to throw that curveball again.
Okay.
Without much success.
Yeah.
But he did have an 0-2 count right there, so if you're going to
good place to try
it.
Good place to try it.
And there he goes, right back to the fastball, and he hit him.
Yep. Yeah, but I think they're going to rule it off the bat.
Everything's hitting the bat today.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It was an arm, then a bat, or a bat, then an arm. I'm not sure which. So Lucas shakes it off there, off the left hand.
It sure looks like it hit him. I mean, it hit him in the shoulder, did it not? Coach Frodger's now, he's arguing it.
Yeah. I thought Coach was just concerned for his guy, and now he's more concerned that he didn't get the call.
Yeah. Well, I think you get a competitive hitter up there, and they want to hit, even and they'll play it off like it didn't hit him.
Right.
So now he's yelling at Sam.
That's what seniors. What's that?
You gotta help the umpire out. You gotta start shaking your hand.
That's right. You gotta stand there and go, ow, 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 ow.
You gotta play that off. There's no replay.
Yeah, doctor, it hurts when I do this. So, well, anyway, it's a 1-2 count. Sam's got to look at another one, and then swings at that one for strike 3.
These guys are just having tough waiting back. They're getting ahead, even on the fastball. They're ahead.
Yep. So my guess is now, as a hitter, again, you had phenomenal batting numbers with Crawfordsville. You obviously saw a guy like this. Comes in and throws a 65, 70 mile an hour fastball.
Right.
So the second time through the batting order, are you ready for it, or does it sometimes take more than one?
No,
I would think that the top of this order is going to be ready to rock this guy.
I always thought I was ready for it. It's just sometimes I'd miss, right?
Okay.
So I think if you are a little ahead, then you better learn your lesson when you go back into the dugout and you come back out there and you're right on for it.
Johnson fouled off the first pitch and just missed on the second pitch. Evens the count out at 1-1. Trent walked his first time up, got as far as third base, and got stranded there in the first inning. Still scoreless here at Crawfordsville. Tigers and the Athenians in Sagamore Conference action.
Young hitters have a tendency to really want to light a guy up, throws a little slower, and you got to realize that sometimes you got to swing a little slower to be able to meet the ball.
Yep, there you go. Well, Johnson, with all of his extra play, with bowls and stuff like that, we'll see. There, he got around on it too fast. So evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, and Coach Froge really preaches, especially against slower pitchers, is just take the ball the other way. Try to go opposite field, and then you can always adjust to the ball in.
Yep. And then go to Benton Central tomorrow night and see some guy throwing 85, and then see what happens.
Yeah.
There's another foul. Oh, that one. How fast can you jump?
Just making sure his teammates are awake.
The ball comes out. Everybody grab a different piece of seat. As long as the guy doing the stats on the iPad out there, as long as he was looking up and not down.
My senior year, we were at McCutcheon, and we had a guy, Rogie Merriman. Mm-hmm. He was doing the stats for us, and he was looking down, and there was a pitch, and I think I was pitching. It was a foul ball. It was like a high fastball, foul ball, straight into the dugout. Yep. Hits off the dugout and straight into his head.
Oh, wow.
But he ended up being all right.
Okay.
He didn't miss a beat.
No, he cut the stats in the next play. So.
Yeah, that's what managers do. They show they're just as tough as the guys out on the field. It does go to the opposite side. Johnson hustling down, but the throw is in time. So 2 up, 2 down for Crawfordsville in the bottom half of the third inning, and that'll bring up Brendan Dowell. Dowell, with nobody on base, will get to swing away at this guy. He laid down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Dowell hitting .333 on the season, 16 hits, 16 runs, 7 RBIs, and has also played a solid third base. So
right, and he also has a good arm.
Yes.
Both the Dowell boys.
Yep. He will probably, I would guess, get the start. Pitch inside, but not that far inside. He will probably get the start tomorrow night at Benton Central, I would guess.
Yeah, that would give Johnson an extra day of rest so he could come back for Saturday.
Yeah, even if Johnson pitches on Saturday, that may be a staff throwing on Saturday. That could be a Caden Jones could get some work, and a couple other guys could get some innings. Abney, Peyton Abney's thrown a few innings in relief. Could easily see some work time. So
they're just
up and
taking one inning at a time by the time they get there.
Yep. Just looking to see on the pitching stats. Johnson's got 46.2 innings pitched. Let's see, Dalton King's got an inning. Caden Jones 2.1. Peyton Abney 4.2. So there's certainly an option there for everybody pitch an inning on Saturday.
And that's the reason they went down to Tennessee this year too, was to get they play so many games in just a few days, and they got to really dig deep into the pitching staff and get guys some experience.
Oh, and Brandon thought that pitch was inside and started to head to first base, tossed the bat to back towards the dugout, and that means the next pitch is a strike. Doesn't matter. You show up
That's
the
like
unless it's in the dirt. We'll see what happens here on 3-1.
Same pitch.
Yeah,
there you go. He's been calling that all game, though. You got to give the umpire credit.
And now he's done it twice. Yeah. He's done it twice. Now he's going to have to swing just at anything that comes up.
Well, at least that time he didn't throw the bat all the way to the dugout.
That's right. Yeah.
The umpires don't like that.
No. And I guarantee you that's why that pitch was a strike. No matter how far inside it was. Here comes the payoff pitch.
There it is.
And there's a little flare out to short right field. So, hey, you know what? Walks are no good if you're batting average. So Dowell got a gift from the umpire with those two extra strikes, and he gets a base hit. So that actually is the Athenians' first hit of the ball game. And that brings up Caden Jones. Now don't lose a pitch to this guy, or he'll lose the baseball.
Right, and this is the meat of the order right here for Crawfordsville too. So second time around, this should be where they really do some damage.
Johnson hitting .365, 16 runs scored, 19 hits, 18 RBI. Stroh over to first. He has, as we mentioned earlier, he has the lone Athenian home run and the lone Athenian triple so far this year, as this team has really turned into a small ball team. They really go about getting one run here, one run there. Dow fakes it, and Jones just gets underneath it. This
would be a tough catch.
A high fly ball. So for the second time in a row, Caden Jones flies out to center field. So the Athenians go no runs. They do get their first hit of the game, so they break the seal there. There were no errors, and Dowell was stranded at first base. So our score after 3 in a relatively quickly played game is 3-0, Crawfordsville and the Lebanon Tigers. So Cam Hobson's sitting here with us. Are you getting up to leave? You're going to go out and you can't go chase girls because you're engaged. So
no, I was just going to give my dad a chance. He's been sitting here for 3 innings.
I know he's died to do some play-by-play. Yeah. The other option is that I'd be more than happy to. I'll always keep my stats, and you guys do a couple innings. Want to do that?
I got to get back. I came in early and I threw a bullpen today, and I got to do my workout afterwards.
Okay.
So
you got time for one more inning?
Yeah, I can do another.
Hold on. The dulcet tones of Daryl Hobson here, and put my stuff here so it doesn't blow away. So the sounds of silence in a second, followed by the law firm of Hobson and Fobson.
We need Shane here, and we can be with you.
There we go.
All right, thanks, Jeff. I kind of enjoyed just standing back there watching, and don't get to just sit and watch games very often like that, at Crawfordsville anyway. So, top of inning number 4 here, and I guess we call it a pitcher's battle, huh, Cam?
Well, there's only been one hit in the game, and that just came in the last half inning. So, yeah, I would say it's a pitcher's duel. Even though we're still early in the game, we got plenty of baseball left to play. But
Lebanon's got to feel good. They've been through the top of the order for Crawfordsville twice and haven't yielded a run yet. With their probably at least number 3 pitcher, I would guess.
Right, and this was the guy that really gave Dow a headache last at bat, cost him 9 pitches. So we'll see if he can get him out a little sooner this time.
Swings at a breaking pitch down. Dow fill it up in this game. There's another off-speed. Shear is the batter, number 2.
Bryce Shear.
The catcher.
And he turned a fake bunt, like he was gonna bunt, and then he pulled back on both of those pitches.
Well, he's down 0-2. A breaking ball in the dirt, blocked there by Evans. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Coming up on 7 o'clock. Dow with the 1-2, another breaking pitch away. Evens the count. Deuce is wild on the scoreboard. Number 2 at bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dow holds that ball in his glove hand and then grips it. There's a jammed him inside. Foul ball. Dow grabs it in foul territory at third base. Brendan Dow for the first out of the inning.
The third baseman, Zach Defoe.
That was a good pitch right there. He got him inside and jammed him. So that's anytime you can get a foul ball out, that's what you want as a pitcher.
Any thoughts on Dow holding the ball in his glove hand and then putting his hand on it? You have any? I think you don't. You hold the ball in your hand as he looks at a fastball called a strike there. Make it a little harder to get your breaking pitches and the feel for your breaking pitches, your changeup.
I've never done it that way, but I've seen guys that do it like that. They don't quite work as quick as Chase does. He seems to get the grip and go, right away.
Yeah.
So if he does miss the grip, I would imagine that would cause him to throw it not where he wants.
Maybe that could contribute to some of his base on or hit batters. I'm sorry. Good fastball away. Ball and 2 strikes. Oh, that'll be a base hit to break up the no-no as Dow can't dive and make the play there, but just out of his reach.
Yeah. He almost had that one, too. It was just tailing slightly towards the line.
Yeah.
And he made a great effort, full extension, and just tipped off the end of his glove.
That'll bring up Caleb Myers.
The shortstop, Caleb Myers.
Playing shortstop tonight. A senior for the Tigers. First time we've seen Dow from the stretch here. He throws over. Not his best move. Diving back easily is Defoe. I believe who was that bit hit?
It was by Defoe.
It was Defoe. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, he was leaning the other way, but still dives back safely.
That was a better pick on that one, too.
Yeah.
I think he gave him his B move on the first one.
No count on the batter. And the runner's not going. Breaking pitch, down and away, ball 1.
See, there's that non-competitive slider right there. He's been throwing it a lot better in the last couple innings, but that's kind of what he got to in the first inning, was throwing a pitch that doesn't look like it's a strike, and it just falls out of the zone.
The runner's off. Swings at that one. Throw down to second, not in time. Stolen base by Defoe.
I don't know if that was a hit and run or not, but I think a fastball right there, Weston Evans probably throws him out.
Yeah.
But he threw him the slow curveball, and the runner just had too good of a jump.
Evens the count at a ball and a strike now. Now, of course, they're going to
walk him.
Potentially walk him to set up the force. Set up the double play. That'll bring out number 20, Jackson Bland, the cleanup hitter, though. Jackson, the best hitter on the team. Now, of course, when Dow goes to the stretch, the ball has to be in the hand. And he does it. It's a little different here, so curve ball hanging, foul ball. Going to be out of play. About 5 feet out of play down that right field line.
That was a dangerous pitch right there. Curveball up and down the middle of the plate, and the hitter, fortunately, tried to golf swing it, but he probably doesn't want to throw that pitch again. I think you're probably going to see a lot of inside fastballs now.
I think Jackson grips that. He's got that bat buried deep in the palms. Looks like an inside fastball would be a good pitch, but there's a curveball right over the inside.
Well, they must have a scouting report that we don't have, because he is not looking particularly strong on these curveballs either.
No. Quickly ahead with 2 strikes now. The 0-2 coming from Dow here. Johnson behind the foe. Swing and a miss there on the curveball. So good, bad hanging curveball on the first pitch, but the last 2 were excellent pitches.
If you get away with the bad hanging curveball and you make your next 2 better, then you're going to get a lot of outs.
Yeah.
So that was a great adjustment by Chase.
The second baseman, Evan Stanbaugh.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Evan Stanbaugh, junior for the Tigers. 2 down now. Dow taking a couple of looks at Defoe and throws a breaking ball in the dirt there. Good block by Evans. You guys talked about earlier, I think, but Weston stepped up. We needed a catcher for this year, and Weston wanted the challenge, and he's done a great job. The 1-0 pitch from Dow. Not really holding Defoe. There's another nice breaking ball. Settles in there for a strike.
Yeah, that was a good one, too, right there. I mean, that's exactly what you want to do with that. And
1 ball, 1 strike.
That gets him back ahead now, so he can go with anything here.
Setting up outside again is Evans.
Another slider.
In the dirt. Not chasing Stanbaugh.
Well, that sets up... okay, so Coach Weller's going to come out to the mound. They must not be on the right page, because I don't see why they would throw 3 curveballs in a row right there.
Well, what are we at? The 6-hitter? 5-hitter? I heard you saying earlier that the 7, 8, 9-hitter are no hits on the year.
Yeah, that's
Still
6, 8, 9.
6, 8, 9.
6,
8, 9.
6, 8, 9. Okay.
The 7-hitter has a hit. So
Okay.
One hit between
So
the last
4.
Well, maybe they are just trying to pitch around this guy, load the bases, and go after a guy that hadn't got a hit yet. But
Well, 2 balls and a strike now
I think you got to go
with
after
2
him.
outs. There's a breaking ball in there.
That's a good
for a
breaker right
strike.
there.
Really good pitch there, as Cam says. Deuce is wild now.
This guy's a 105 hitter. I don't think that pitcher around.
That's probably what the message was. Hey, let's go after this guy. No, another bouncer.
He's thrown him 4 curveballs. So I think, well, is it 5 curveballs? I think the message must have been throw it better. I don't know. But it's pretty clear that they don't think he can hit the curveball, or they're, trying to get to the next hitter who's hadn't got a hit yet.
Runners are off. Fly ball. It's in foul territory. Going back is Edwards to make the catch.
All right.
So getting out of the inning there is Dow.
It's a way to work out of trouble right there.
Yeah, each team now, of course, both scoreless, but each team with a hit on the day. Crawfordsville, here we are, bottom of the 4th. It's time the Athenians need to make a statement here and start trying to take control of this game. We let Lebanon hang around too long. I think they're 3-6 on the year.
2 and 4 in the conference.
2 and 4 in the conference. And, the longer you let them hang around, the more confidence that they get. And then bad things can happen.
Yeah.
It's baseball.
Yeah, and I've been a part of a lot of high school games where, it's been scoreless for 4 innings, and then all of a sudden Crawfordsville puts up 8 runs in 1 inning. So I don't think that Crawfordsville's too worried yet, but you definitely want to tack some runs on the board as soon as possible.
But you also want to think about, if you recall, in 06 and 07, your team had 1 conference loss each year, I think, and then in 08, you even had a conference loss to Danville. You had a conference loss to, I think, Western Boone in 06, and then I can't remember who it was in 07. There was a loss in there to a team that really, wasn't one of the upper echelon teams. It was one of the teams down in the conference. So that's what I was talking about. Those situations, you let them hang around, and then funny things can happen. Chase Dowell leads things off here for the Athenians in the bottom of the 4th. Number 23 on his back. First pitch, fastball away from Tyler Wellborn. Wellborn in his 4th inning of work here. Swings at that fastball back out of play onto the empty softball complex. Why isn't there a softball game going on?
There was rain. There was water standing on it at 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 o'clock downpour.
Their drainage is not as good with they have the dirt infield, and it must not have been covered.
Yeah. Breaking pitch away, 2 balls and a strike now.
So, I got to imagine that Coach Froge is telling the guys, you got to get that fastball, because from what I've seen, he's not throwing curveballs for a strike. He's thrown a couple of them, but
there you go, right there.
Got the fastball right where he wanted it, and put him with 8.
Dow with a single to left here to start things off. That'll bring Evans up. We'll see what Coach Froge chooses to do here. He's going to think about it for a minute. Man, they're going to have a conference on the pitching with the pitching coach. You recognize that pitching coach, Cameron? That's Pat O'Neill. You remember Pat O'Neill? He was at Brownsburg when you played, and he was your coach when you played on that junior all-star team up in the Chicago area.
Okay.
Him along with the Andrean coach.
Mm-hmm.
Pat's been at Lebanon now for several years, maybe 3 or 4, I don't know. Probably longer than that. Little action in the bullpen now for the Tigers. Number 20-something.
22, it looks like.
Hayden Parker, the sophomore. They don't have anybody above 22, so that has to...
That's 20.
22.
That's 22.
Let me see if I can find a 22 in the
Well, that one does hit Evans. Inside. Now we got things going.
So the pitching coach goes out there to tell him to hit?
Well,
whatever he said, it must not have registered.
that'll bring up Josh Blackburn,
22 is Hayden Parker.
the freshman
The courtesy runner is
left fielder.
Crawfordsville's number
Actually,
20, Luke Mango.
nope. Blackburn wasn't in the lineup. Is he in the lineup?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Blackburn should be hitting.
Yeah.
Mangold courtesy running it first.
Well, Blackburn was out there, and then he went back into the dugout.
He needed a better bat.
Coach Froge,
Something's going on in there. Pinch hitter. Looks like Kellerman.
yep. Will Kellerman in to hit. Well, I bet you $5. I'm going to bet you $5 right now Will Kellerman's in to bunt because he is a good bunter.
Yeah, Coach Froge must not have wanted to waste this opportunity. He's got runners on first and second with nobody out, and he puts the bunter in.
This is even pay week. I'll bet my paycheck on this, I think. So.
All right, first pitch or second?
Well, he's got the first baseman.
I'm not going to go that far.
The first baseman's playing back, so if you bunt at the first base right here and you get a good bunt, then we could easily see a base hit on this.
Yeah.
A typical baseball fashion would be to have the first baseman come in and at least have a chance. Like, he's playing 10 feet behind the line. You know, if you get a hard bunt that way, then there's no way the pitcher's going to field it.
Just get it past the pitcher.
I don't know if Coach Froge has worked with the freshman on push bunting yet, but it'd be a great time for that.
Well, he's ahead, 2 balls, no strikes.
He might have the take
Command the zone here now. Oh, he tried to bunt that. Inside, kind of a fastball there.
Yeah, he probably hasn't seen a lot of guys that throw like this. He's the pitcher really has some angle. I mean, he comes from up high and it comes across and it doesn't tail much. He kind of cuts. So it's a different looking fastball and it's slow.
There he fouls that one back here against the screen. So 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think
I'll bet you another $5. He's going to bunt with 2 strikes too.
Yeah. He just needs to be patient up here because from what we've seen with the curveball, he just really needs to be patient and try to get a fastball.
He shows early, bunts it down, good bunt. Third baseman has to wait on the first baseman to get there to cover, and he does. So successful sacrifice. Clutch play with two strikes on him there, Tim.
Yeah.
5 pitches, that's all.
But if you've watched Athenian baseball at all, you know that just because you can't get it done on the first 2 doesn't mean Coach Froge is going to let you off without still bunting. That'll bring up Abney now with runners at second and third with 1 out. Peyton Abney, if he can hit one over the second baseman's head here, then we'll definitely play the run. Infield in. Timeout at the plate called by Abney. You know, with 1 out, Lebanon not entertaining putting him on, I guess. Breaking ball away.
There's a good piece of hitting right there, laying off that breaking ball that he hasn't seen for a strike very often.
Yeah. Tommy Edwards on deck.
He might see a few more of those in this at-bat.
Just trying to get him to chase and thinking, well, if we got a base open.
Nope.
No, he hits that one.
That'll be a sac fly right there.
Right fielder back underneath it, makes the catch. Here comes the throw.
That's a good throw, but not in
Good
time.
throw, but not Puig type of throw, but sacrifice fly there by Abney. So sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly, and we got a run.
That is textbook Athenian baseball right there.
We did. The only thing was we did get a hit in there.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen us score runs without getting a hit?
The first baseman.
That'll happen, but a hit makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. Makes it look better, too.
A hit and a hit by pitch and then a sac fly. So, hey.
So Edwards up now with a runner at third and 2 outs. Crawfordsville on top, 1-0. There's a breaking ball that hangs high.
That's the loopy one that he was throwing in the first inning.
Really released that way early.
Yeah, he's just not been inconsistent. He has thrown a couple of good ones with good break, but it's just not, not consistent.
That's up and in for ball 2.
So then he runs the fastball back in.
Lucas could have easily earned that if he'd have wanted to. 2 balls, no strikes.
Now this is the type of situation you want to be in as a hitter.
Oh, he gets jammed on that one. Foul ball. Catcher trying to make a play on it, but he can't get to it. It was in the field of play.
Yeah, that was a good. It looked like a good pitch to hit. It was just a little inside and got him on the hands. But I mean, that was what Tommy's looking for, is a fastball out that he can drive over the infield.
2 balls and a strike. Not much wind. I think it's blowing from the west, maybe northwest a little bit, but there's not really a factor. Anything knock balls down from the right-handed hitters, it might help the lefties a little bit. Here comes the 2-1. Goes after that one. Foul ball back behind us here somewhere.
Right there, way back that way.
Well, he's getting the pitches he wants. He's just a little off on the timing. So now he's giving the pitcher a chance right here to maybe give him some off-speed pitches. Those last 2 pitches, he was pretty sure he's getting a fastball.
There it is again. He fouls that one off.
Another fastball.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
I think he must be in his head because, Tommy, that was a non-aggressive swing. He just barely got the bat on that. But, hey, with 2 strikes, that's all you can do,
Well, and a pitcher can't consistently really control where his curveball's going, so you kind of got to have that in your mind, and then sneaks that fastball in there. There's the breaking ball. That's high, though. Full count.
Yeah, he really wanted that one, but the umpire, he's not going to give it to you unless you've been around the zone with it.
Yeah. Or if you threw the ball or the bat toward the dugout on a 3-0 pitch. Fastball, he turns on, but he hangs it up. Center fielder coming in. Shortstop going out. Shortstop makes the catch there, does Myers. So the Athenians do get 1 run on 1 hit. 2 successful sacrifices. So they've got the run they need. Lebanon's still in it, though, coming out here to the top of the 5th inning. Temperature's starting to drop a little bit, too, in that.
The wind is picking up, too.
It is picking up.
It might not be affecting the players on the field, but it's definitely affecting the people in the broadcast booth.
Well, you're sitting up here with shorts on. Are you starting to get cold?
When I came to the park today, it was 70 degrees and sunny, and I wasn't expecting to stay around till dark. But that's all right.
Well, whenever you want to go, you just say the word, because I know you've got to get home and work out, but we certainly appreciate having you here. This is fun.
Yeah, I can let Jeff get back on the mic, too, because I think he might be doing a better job than I am. So.
Oh, you're doing great.
You're doing great. Absolutely. Whatever your schedule.
You want
to stay for another inning,
before you go, any funny story from your playing days, whether it's here at Crops or whatever, you want to share? Something.
That won't get us sued.
Yeah.
All right, so when we were in 2008, and I remember because every year since I was 5, or whenever I started playing baseball in the CYB and growing up, Coach Froge is adamant about, you'd see Ken Griffey Jr. with his hat backwards and hitting the home runs and everything, and he's like, guys, we don't do that. Like, nobody wears their hat backwards. So, whole way growing up, and I'd never seen it, and Coach Froge, you get a new guy on here, and somebody come in, and they'd have their hat on backwards, and they would get reamed. So we were like, all right, nobody's doing that. And then finally, in 2008, after we won state, and Coach Froge and Coach Welver were talking to the media or whatever, and we're all on the bus, like, come on, let's go. And we're all happy and everything. And Mitchell Ray turns his hat around backwards and puts it on, like he's like high five and everybody. And so eventually, by the time the coaches get on the bus, everybody's got their hat on backwards and just being rowdy. And Coach Fred just looks up, and you could just tell, like, instantly he's just like, had that little hatred. And, it's like, oh my gosh, he's got. But then he was like, you know what? We just won the state championship, so I'll give you a pass on this one.
That's even on video. Bob Taylor caught that on video, so that's documented. That fly ball to center field for the first out of the inning, and then Dow ahead with a strike here. Jammed pitch coming back behind us here, right into the water.
Just barely.
Dr. Walker's going to make a save here. He's going after it, and he's got it. Dr. Walker still has got it. See him moving there?
Before the ball drowns.
Yeah. The 0-2 pitch now from Dow. Outside.
The slider.
Yep.
I think he has a tendency on those 0-2 pitches as well to kind of get around the ball, and it sails on him a little outside. So that's all right. I bet you we'll see a better one next time.
The 1-2. There it is.
That was a lot better pitch, though. You could tell on that one the hitter leaned forward. If you get a little reaction out of the hitter, at least it was a competitive pitch.
The 2-2 pitch from Dow swung at in foul territory. Edwards giving it a look, and he's got it for out number 2 here.
Tommy Edwards has had quite a few fly balls over there at first base today.
Well, these guys have all, they've either pulled the pitch foul or they've hit it to right field, and they pulled a lot of them foul early in the game. But
well, he was going inside with the fastball a lot early in the game too, and that's all they could do with it.
There's a foul ball back out of play.
It looks like they might have changed their approach a little bit.
Yeah.
So it might not be a bad time to go back inside again.
There's a fly ball lifted towards center field. Jones, and then Lucas makes the catch. So another efficient inning there by Dow to retire the Tigers in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, he's really hitting his stride now. Not wasting a lot of pitches and getting outs. So that's what you want to see out of Chase.
All right, one more question for you, Cam. I've never asked you this question, I don't think, but June 14th, 2008, taking the field at Victory Field in Indianapolis for the state championship game. What was that like? I mean, you had probably 2,000 Athenian fans in the stands. I assume that's probably the biggest crowd that you'd ever played for in your career at that point. And loud Athenian fans. I know my heart was racing a little bit that day, but what was it like for you and your teammates? Do you recall? I mean, was it?
It was cool. I mean, it was like everybody, or at least I felt like kind of a heightened sense of awareness, and had some adrenaline going, and it was probably the most energy I've had before a game, even since then, Well, but that was definitely a fun time, and just making the whole ride and making it there, and then playing in the game, that was fun.
Well, there were stories. You talk about adrenaline that you had that day. There were stories that you were 94 on the gun that day, pretty consistently, 92 to 94 on the radar guns that were up in the stands. So maybe whatever that was that day, you need to tap into that. Boy, that was pretty awesome. You could tell that the guys were having trouble getting around on you that day. So.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to take off and get a workout on tonight. So.
All right, well, we certainly do appreciate you taking time out of your schedule here to visit with Jeff, and it's fun calling a game with you. This is a first. This probably could be the first father-son
for the webcast.
It's on the webcast here, maybe. So.
The Brennemans have done it once or twice, so.
The who?
The Brennemans have done it once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the first
I
time.
didn't mean anywhere. I meant
First time in
Crawfordsville. Yeah, obviously. First time. Yeah. All right, Cameron Hobson, 2008 graduate Crawfordsville High School. We wish you luck in the upcoming season here. And that ball hits Lucas on the helmet, so he'll get a free pass to start things off here. Well, not exactly free when you take a shot off the helmet, I guess, but it was a hanging breaking ball. Should point out that the new pitcher for the Tigers is Hayden Parker, the sophomore, right-handed pitcher. Crawfordsville at 1-0 lead now.
Shortstop, Trent Johnson.
Lucas at first. Now Johnson, top of the order. Step off, almost throw it away to first base. What will Coach Frodes do here now? He's got the 1-0 lead. Is he going to have Johnson move the runner, or are we going to hit?
I would certainly guess that we would see a swing away here.
I think we're going to hit. We might give, Lucas not getting much of a lead there, but Johnson does show bad.
There we go.
He comes up with it. Successful sacrifice.
That's what your team captain does. Sacrifice 5-3.
Well, that's just good fundamental baseball, and it's worked many years here at Crawfordsville. And I heard you talking in the background there maybe about, or maybe it was, you're down here at Canada, how good this team has become at bunting the ball.
Yeah, they are committed. They are committed to small ball fundamental play. I mean, that's just that simple.
There's a ball that a little high. Coach Cosgray not agreeing with that. Abney at the plate, though. He's not a very big guy. Swings at that, fouls it straight back here out of play. Back underneath the football bleachers. 1 ball and 1 strike. Abney had a base hit over the second baseman's head his last at bat. Probably would score a run if he could do that on this time. Fakes the bunt. There he goes, right over the second baseman's head. Lucas had to wait and make sure it was dropped, so that's going to make him hold him at third now. Coach Frodes had to hold him just in case. Tough one to read, but I didn't think there was any way that the second baseman was going to get to that.
If you're standing at second base, though, you know what? You got to be safe. Lucas would rather be standing safe at third base than sitting in the dugout running laps after the game.
Especially where we're at in the lineup. You got Jones up to bat now, so don't want to give away an out with your strength of your lineup coming up. No, again, fundamental baseball. Don't want it to make that sacrifice bunt be for naught. Jones, underneath his last at bat, underneath the ball.
He's actually underneath both of them. He's got 2 F8s almost the exact same way. Yeah. So,
well, the first one was more. I thought it looked like this hung up on him. Of course, I'm standing that back there. I couldn't see it as well as I can down here, but let's see if he can get on top of one here. Fakes the run, ball in the dirt. There he goes, delayed steal if that ball was in the dirt. Abney slides in to second.
Brendan Dowell.
Or Dowell, I'm sorry. I called him Abney earlier, wasn't it?
That's all right.
Brendan Dowell with that base hit earlier, my bad.
That's all right.
He needs another 0 on there, doesn't he?
There you go. And now they're going to intentionally walk Jones.
Well, that's the only thing that stolen base did was took the bat out of Jones's hand, but really with Dowell up, Dowell's a good hitter as well.
Certainly, and he singled and scored the only run of the ball game so far. He led off the 4th inning for the Athenians with a single to left center field, and eventually scored on a sacrifice fly by Abney.
Swing and a miss, a foul ball back. Corners in for Lebanon. The middle is playing double play depth up the middle.
With 1 out, that would be the sensible thing to do. They really could use a ground ball in the infield someplace, or this thing could turn upside down in a hurry.
There's a ball, a line drive right at the third baseman. Kind of a defense move there to catch that. Good job by the Athenians holding there.
Zach Defoe literally found out what the hot corner means.
Yeah.
Catcher,
It was a good play by him and playing up like he was, boy. That he had about a quarter of a second reaction time, and he was the Crawfordsville was fortunate because he looked to third for the double play. If he had turned to the middle, he had an easy double play on Dowell.
Oh, at second.
Yeah, at second base.
There's a ground ball toward the shortstop. Myers up, throws across the diamond, and he gets Evans at first. So the Athenians strand 3 that inning. Still 1-0. Tigers still in it, heading to the top of the 6th.
Finish up the line on Wellborn. Went 4 innings for Lebanon. Allowed only the 1 hit, and there was 1 run. It was an earned run. He walked 1 and struck out 2, and has now given way to Parker. And Parker pitched himself out of a pickle there with bases loaded. So we head to the top of the 6th inning. And what do you expect from a big Sagamore Conference matchup between a couple of rivals like this?
Yeah. Well, probably one of the hardest hit balls of the game resulted in an out.
Yes.
That ball to third, that was tattooed.
Yep, that had some velocity on it.
Yeah.
So but Lebanon will go bottom and top here, and Chase Dowell has certainly been in control. He threw 21 pitches in the first inning. He got me all worried, and then he settled down for the second and third. Threw 20 pitches in the fourth, and then settled back down again. So he has 66 pitches through 5 innings. So just a 16 pitch average. So certainly to keep me out of the worry zone. By the way, when we work together again when I use the term flank parts, that's stolen straight from your son. I love that. When you get the arms and legs out just a little bit too much, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter or something like that, I said he's got too many flying parts. That's what he said. So that's going to become my new favorite term for this summer. So
I'll have to remember that.
Yeah. We were talking about Josh Blackburn having a really good compact swing. Not a big step, not arms up and down. He said he doesn't have any flying parts. So, and I looked at him and I said, well, you could have described that because I don't think I'd ever heard that before. So Keelan did a great job. God, it was just so much fun to talk to him and see what was going on.
They got a microphone over there. That's Lebanon radio station. You do? Yeah.
Young Mr. Duggar thinks that we've got invaders from space up in the football press box. There's Scott Carney. He came over to broadcast the girls' softball game. He had over here to find out it had been postponed. So he said, well, I got the gear, I got the time, I got the sponsors. He said, so he's broadcasting the baseball game. He's got a good one. He's got a good one, 1-0.
Dow throwing a breaking pitch in the dirt. At the plate is Nick Bland.
0 for 1. Popped out to short. His first time up. Still looking for his first hit of the season.
Younger brother of Jackson Bland.
Yes.
Looks at a fastball on the outside corner. Good pitch there from Dow. Well, Cameron probably talked more tonight than he did his entire 4 years in high school.
That does not surprise me. No.
There's another fastball right at the knees. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Knee-high outside corner fastball. How hard is that pitch to hit?
The 1-2 pitch from Dow. That's down in the dirt. Yeah, Cameron was a man of few words in high school. You had to pry words out of him.
Oh, yes. I remember covering the Athenians all those years. Yeah, I asked Coach Fudge, is it okay to talk? This foul ball goes out of play. Is it okay to go talk to Cameron? He said, yeah, good luck.
I remember in the state championship game, after that, they were interviewing him and they asked him, I forget now, they asked him a question and he goes, yeah, well, that's kind of how it was. Yep. Oh, there's the ball fouled back.
Headed for the safety guy in the bullpen.
I say fouled back, but fouled out of play down the left field line.
Yeah. Who is warming up? That's a righty. Is it Abney? Looking sideways through the fence. That is hard to tell.
It is. I'm trying to lean behind it, but I can't do it.
No, I don't think so, because Abney's number 4.
It's a 1.
Looks like a double-digit number.
Something. Oh, it's a 2. Oh, that's Dow, I bet. Isn't it?
Oh, Brendan? Yeah, that makes sense. Pitch just misses. That was pitch number 7. 3-2, full count.
The line in the throw from Dow. Fouled back out of play. Staying alive.
Well, a couple of these Lebanon guys. The leadoff guy, Shear, went to a 9-pitch count. The next guy behind him went to a 7-pitch count. This is the 9th pitch coming up here to Nick Bland.
I can't pick out that number.
Who's warming up there, Mr. Duggar?
Down for ball 4. Good at bat there.
And before I can say that that's the first time in 2 games that Chase Dowell has gotten to a ball 3 count, he walks his first hitter in 2 games.
Wendland?
Wendland.
It is Kale.
And he's on the mound. He's not just warming up to come in for a defensive toss. Brings up the leadoff hitter, Bryce Shear.
So the number 9 hitter for the Tigers gets on to start things off here.
Shear took a called third strike and fouled out to third base his 2 previous trips.
Well, Coach Cosgray given out here to move his runner into scoring position. Throw over. Boy, almost got him. Good play there by Dow.
If the throw had been down a little bit so that Edwards wouldn't have had to bring the ball down, I think he'd have had a lot closer to call.
Decent lead at first. And he's off and going. Fakes the bunt. Here's the throw. Bounces it in there, and he's safe. Bland with a stolen base. So he didn't need to give the sacrifice to get the runner to second.
Yep. Second stolen base on the afternoon or the evening now for the Tigers. Defoe stole a base when he reached in the 4th.
Well, Shearer struck out, I believe, on his second at bat on the curveballs, didn't he?
His first at bat. Shearer did.
Well, he's on the, after he struck out on the curveball after battling, but I think in the second at bat, it was very few pitches to get him out, if I recall.
He was on a 2-2 count.
It was 2-2.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. So he fouled the ball out that B-Doll came up with.
There's the pitch. Fouled back. Is it going to be coming toward us?
It's going to be on our roof. Nope, just behind us.
Over the tower and out of play. Behind us.
If you'd have heard the big thump, you'd have known it hit the roof on the PA box.
I'm wondering about hitting this tent at some point. We do have a tent over us, but
I would at least put my hand up just to protect my noggin.
2 balls and 1 strike to Shear. Shear Sr. calls time. Interesting part of the game here now. Top of the 6th. Lebanon threatening.
Yeah, you and Cam talked about it. You don't want to let somebody stay close, but it's close. Oh, that was going to the fence.
Faked the bunt and then came back and slapped it all the way in the alley. He's coming. The coach is trying to hold him up. Johnson kind of delays on the throw, and he's in there for a triple. Bryce Shear. Good piece of hitting. He faked like he was going to bunt. The runner was off on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just tattooed the ball. It was right over the heart of the plate.
It sure was. That's the hardest hit. Well, that's the hardest hit ball the Lebanon's hit today. Let me get
the furthest the ball's been hit all day.
That's about it. First one to the fence. Let me do a quick look here. There are not many extra base hits as Zach Defoe comes up.
Infield in with no outs now. Showing bunt was Defoe. I wouldn't, with Lebanon's batting average, you would expect to see maybe a squeeze play here.
Mm-hmm.
Should we come with a high fastball or something? But nope, he goes at that curveball. Safety.
Yep.
Losing the safety there.
So, Coach, the triple by Shear, only the second triple of the year by the Tigers, and he's got them both.
Coach Frode's going to come out here and talk to his team about what they want to do here.
The number 9 guy and the leadoff guy, the worst combination of all. He gets on base, and ironically, on Chase Dowell's first walk in 2 games, first walk allowed. So,
Lebanon capitalized on that in a big way.
They sure did.
Still nobody out with another runner in scoring position. So, like we talked about, you mentioned it just a moment ago, Jeff. I mean, a team, you let them hang around. And I've seen it a lot in these conference games. Cameron and I were talking about in 2006, That's not right. I was thinking it was 2006. I think it was Western Boone in 2006. 2008, I know it was Danville that beat us in a close game.
Yep.
Johnson's coming in to pitch.
Okay.
In 2007, I still can't think who it was that beat us that year. But
I don't have the big media guide, unfortunately.
Oh.
Well, Dowell gives way. There we go. Dowell ends up with 9, 13, 16 more. So Chase ends up with 82 pitches. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, and he's responsible for Shearer standing at third base. So he goes 5 plus IP. He walked that 1, which is now turned into a very costly walk. Struck out 2, 3, 4, 5. Struck out 5. So now the Athenian bats are going to have to do something. No matter what happens here, if Lebanon gets another run, because we'll play a long time at 1-1.
That's right.
And I got a deadline for crying out loud.
Well, I do remember now that I don't remember who that team was yet. It'll come to me after a while. But in 2006, we played Lebanon in the sectional, and that game went extra innings. I think it went maybe 10 innings.
Okay.
And that was the game, if I remember correctly, where we stole home, and the play we'd worked on where Jeremy Klein slid between Ben Zachary's legs, and the catcher fell on top of Ben, basically, and the umpire called him out, but it was clearly in there ahead of the tag, but the umpire said, I didn't see it, so I had to call him out. He was totally fooled by the play. And
see, in umpire school, they tell you can't assume the out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Safe until he's out.
Yep, that's exactly right. Never assume the out.
Johnson steps toward third, a play that you can no longer do in the pros.
Right.
I'm not sure about college if they adopted that rule or not.
My guess is if they hadn't, they
shows bunt. Oh, he looks at a ball. Looked like a pretty decent pitch.
That's pretty good.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Yep. So Johnson inherits the 1-1 count on Defoe.
2 balls and 1 strike. Showing bunt. And he offers at that one and unsuccessfully. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Now what will Coach Cosgrave do? Will he leave the bunt on?
I'm
let him swing away.
Doubtful because Defoe had the only hit for the Tigers.
And he looks at strike 3. Good breaking ball there from Johnson. So Johnson comes in and does the job and gets us out of that one. Yeah, in that game with Lebanon in 2006, I know Ross Wheeler had a home run in one of the innings to tie the game up and to keep it going. And eventually Crawfordsville won that game and then lost to Brebeuf in the championship game of the sectional that year. The last time we lost, we beat Brebeuf from then on for a while. There's another breaking ball. It's called a slider. Cam said he's been working on that slider, and definitely
he's developing that third pitch.
Yeah.
He really is developing that third pitch.
1 strike now to Myers, the batter. He swings at that pitch unsuccessfully. Now he's quickly down 2 strikes.
Johnson had 9 strikeouts in the Tuesday win over the Tigers.
Oh, doesn't offer at that one. Goes just outside.
Good miss on 0-2.
Yeah.
Myers was walked intentionally. Flied out his first time up. Walked intentionally in the 4th.
There's the 1-2 from Johnson. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 outs. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, number 20, Jackson Bland. Senior struck out on the curveball.
He struck out twice.
Yeah.
Swinging strikes both times. He has looked at 3 pitches each at bat.
So we'll probably see Johnson with the slider here again.
Yep. Trent now 73 strikeouts on the season.
Here's Johnson with the delivery. There it is for a strike. Strike 1. I didn't want to get it a little lower from now on, though. That was up there where...
Put a bat on it, it might go away.
Yeah.
Johnson picked up the unique win and save at Western Boone last Friday night.
Here's the pitch. Jackson checks up his swing. Good block there. Well, he's in line now if we can score some runs since he's in the game to get a win.
Yes. Yes, because the tie belongs to the Dow. Dow cannot win this game. So his stretch.
Well, there's a bouncer out in front. Evans with the throw to first. Good job by Weston. Realizing who's at the plate. Jackson's a big boy, doesn't run real fast, and Evans made a nice play there. Good communication between him and Johnson.
Absolutely.
That's a tough play.
It is.
But you've got a senior, and a junior out there that they've been there before.
So, but the Tigers take advantage of the only walk of the game thus far issued by Crawfordsville pitching. That walk eventually scored. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and Shearer stranded at third base after his triple. So Crawfordsville now faces a tie score coming up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's going to be the bottom of the order. Blackburn, Abney, Edwards, and if they get past that, Sam Lucas. Bottom of the order has not had too much success as of yet. The only run of the game by Crawfordsville scored by Chase Dowell in the 4th inning when he singled and scored on a sacrifice fly by Peyton Abney. The Athenians, as Dale looks at the schedule, at Benton Central tomorrow, Friday night. They are home to Covington for an 11 o'clock, I believe it is, game. Yep, 11 o'clock Covington on Saturday. And then next week, Sagamore Conference action is Danville. And I believe it is Danville home on Tuesday and then at Danville on Thursday.
Then they've got another busy weekend after that with North Putnam
on Friday.
Home on Friday night. And then this says Peru. I heard you guys talking about it. Peru is the first game.
Okay.
This says at 1:30.
Also, it's a little bit later. It's a little ways to drive down from Peru and then Charlestown. So
4:30 to Charlestown.
Yep, makes a little bit more sense than an 11 o'clock start. That's pretty early bus ride for either team. Blackburn's going to start things off.
And he gets plucked on the first pitch. So leadoff batter aboard. You know, I'm looking at the schedule trying to figure out. That's just bugging the heck out of me, that 07 game. Mm-hmm. And maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe 07 was Western Boone and 08 was Danville. Maybe 06 was, it very well could have been these Tigers. Maybe it was in 06.
They've been a fly in the ointment for a long time. So
great rivalry between these two schools for years.
I did not realize. I knew it had been a little bit of a stretch, but Tuesday night's Crawfordsville win ended a 6-game losing streak to the Tigers.
Yeah.
So I knew they got swept. I knew Lebanon swept them last year, and I did not recall a sweep also the years before. It was also
there's a double play. Bunt right back to the pitcher, and off to the races was Blackburn. Didn't freeze, but it's the responsibility of the guy at the plate to get that ball down.
You expect the guy to put the bunt on the ground, and Blackburn just he was 2 or 3 steps. That bunt went directly. That went just absolutely directly to Parker. He had that was the easiest thing he'll field in his entire life.
Well, that didn't hurt nearly as much as the one did in 2007 as strike called in there on the first pitch. This is Edwards, the first baseman, the junior for the Athenians at the plate. He pulls that one down toward the third baseman. He's got it on 2 hops, throws across, and gets the out. So the Athenians go down quickly here in the bottom of the 6th. So top of the 7th coming up, 1-1 ball game here at the complex. Were you here at the complex in 2007 for the regional game against Edgewood?
Mm-hmm. I sure was.
If you remember, Crawfordsville runner at third with 1 out. And a squeeze play was called.
Yes.
And the pitcher made a tremendous diving play on basically on a live drive.
Yes.
If he'd have been a right-handed pitcher, he never got it.
He never caught it. That's
left-handed pitcher falling off to from our vantage point, the left side of the mound here.
Yeah, away from him. Yeah, that was the crazy part about that.
Caught the ball, and then I think from the seat of his pants through to first. And the runner was already at home at that point, but needed to retreat to third, and we lost that game. I say that really hurt.
That was a stinger.
My heart sunk all the way down to my feet, I think.
Yeah. That was a tough evening. As Johnny Cash said, it burns.
It still burns.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, because that team, really that year, you could say, that team that year had what it took to really win a state championship.
Yep.
But the sting from that, the burn from that, probably really propelled the Athenians into 2008.
Yep.
And led to that championship run that year.
Certainly that. And it's always, and I know this is a Crawfordsville webcast, but Crawfordsville was involved in helping, I think, another state championship along a bunch of 20 years ago when Crawfordsville beat North Montgomery in the last regular season football game of the season. It was a gigantic upset, humongous upset, and it propelled North Montgomery. They were mad for a month, and they just took it out on 3 sectional opponents and went on to win their first state championship. And I always maintain that I don't think North would have won that state championship if they didn't have the absolute hurt of that loss to Crawfordsville.
Johnson back out on the hill for his second inning of work.
Yep,
because he did get all 3 outs.
Yes, he did. 3, 7, 10. Johnson threw 10 pitches in that stretch of work.
Well, he's down 2 balls, no strikes now. Here to start things off in the top of the 7th. So temperature's still dropping. I didn't really bring enough clothes for a really long game tonight. There's a fastball in there for a strike. Stanbaugh at the plate.
This is Evan Stanbaugh, 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out to second, popped out to first.
Everything on the right side. Johnson with the 2-1. There's a foul ball back out of play onto the softball complex. We mentioned it earlier. The softball game was rained out.
Yep.
Didn't have the tarp on.
And that is going to be replayed tomorrow for folks listening tonight. It will be replayed on Friday.
Johnson with there's a breaker, slider that stays high. Full count now. More action down in the Lebanon bullpen as well in the Athenian bullpen. So,
well, I would imagine that Johnson's on a pretty short leash after going
there's a foul ball
all the way on Tuesday.
Right back into this net. Yeah.
Cam was saying that maybe Johnson be looking for a Saturday, but I think against a non-conference team like Covington or whoever would, there's not a chance he'll throw.
Stanbaugh battling up again, fouls one back out.
Yep. And now that Johnson's pitching today, I can bet that $5 that I lost to you on on the bunt thing on the Kellerman bunt that he will not be throwing this weekend.
Well, you never know. He might be limited spot duty or something.
Yeah, he could come in and get a couple outs on a...
Chopper towards second. It's going to be a tough play. Quickly up with it was Abney.
You and I have talked a little bit, and so have a couple of the other folks that we've had the pleasure of doing these webcast games with. Peyton Abney has done a really, really nice job defensively, changing over. He had not played a lot of second base coming into this season, and has had a lot of chances over there, and has come up clean, in just about every opportunity. So, wish he could have got that last bunt down, but defensively, he has sure played well.
Up for the Tigers now.
Hayden Parker, designated hitter, still looking for his first hit of the season. He's the designated hitter. How bad would you be if you're Cooper Ferris, the center fielder, and a guy who doesn't have a hit is hitting for you?
The 0-1, swing and a miss on that slider for 2 strike quickly here.
Yep. Trent can throw whatever pitch he wants right here.
Abney reminds me of a number 4 that played that position 2000, probably 6, 7, and 8, or 7, 8, and 9. I'm sorry. There he swings that, gets away from Evans. Drop third strike, comes up with a throw to first, and he called him safe. What did he say? He beat him, or is he off?
Well, that's hard to say. Got to time it. I'd like to see it. Let's wind the videotape back up here.
The only thing I thought the throw beat him there, but only was Edwards. No challenge from the coaching staff.
Yeah.
So
If Edwards' foot may have come off on the throw, he was stretching a long ways towards the foul side. So let's see. We've got to go. That's got to be a pass ball because that was not in the dirt.
Yeah.
So the K is registered. That's 3 Ks for Johnson, but Parker is safe on first base. That brings up Tyler Welburn, who was the starting pitcher and stayed in the ball game. He's 0 for 2, struck out and fouled out to first bases 2 times up.
Well, 1 out, looking for the double play ball here. Johnson throws over, diving back is the current pitcher, Hayden Parker.
Yep.
For the Tigers. Parker's a sophomore. Wellborn's a sophomore, so a couple of sophomores getting a lot of action here tonight on the mound for the Tigers. Oh, he was leaning. He's got it back, though. Yep. His runner was looking at second there, so, they've stolen second rather easily.
Yep.
So
2 different times. Defoe and Bland both have steals. Coach Cosgrave, and he usually is. He's usually pretty aggressive on the base paths. He likes to get guys moving.
Maybe do a pitch out here. So not going, though. Pitch outside. So, kind of got to go to the plate. Yeah, this has one of the feels for one of those weird games now.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is, 7th inning, and Tigers tied up and with a runner at first with 1 out. Johnson again throwing a ball.
He's gone.
Boy, he is not real good about getting back, is he?
He's not.
There's what's that term? A lot of loose parts over there trying to get back to
flying parts.
Flying parts. There you go.
Flying parts. Well, he's aggressive with that, though. Welborn likes to get a big lead.
Coach Cosgrave going through the signs over here, so we'll see what the Tigers choose to do here. He's going. He got a really slow start, too. I think we could throw him out.
Hit and run there.
His 0 to 60 is not very fast.
Kind of like my four-cylinder car. So, but Welborn put a bat on it, and that evens his count at 1-1.
We'll see if he's going to go again. He'll throw over again. Do you take a chance on a pitch out here?
Yeah, you might. You got 7, 8, and 9 coming up.
I mean,
although the number 9 guy is the guy who walked and scored.
I think he's going. Well, he throws back and he's down again.
Well, I think Johnson's convinced he's going to go. So. There he goes.
Ground ball. He's only going to have to play it first if he can get it. Here's the throw across, and it gets away.
Yep.
Just not what we wanted.
Holding up at third is Welborn.
Here comes the throw in. So E6 on the throw will put runners at second and third now with 1 out. Johnson's going to have to strike some guys out now, I would say.
Yep. Well, you're looking at 8 and 9, and they are. We got a courtesy runner. Number 24.
Coach Frode's making the trip out to the mound now. Asking the umpire if he's got a trip available without having to make a change.
Yep. Number 24 is not on that list. Let's see if I've got a 24. I do. Kobe Bertrand.
Well, teachable moment for Coach Roge out here. I think he's probably enforced, as a first baseman there, you don't want the ball to get by you. No. That's the bottom line.
Yep.
If you have to come off the base to just make sure you block that ball and it doesn't get by you, because I'm not sure he was going to have it out anyway if the throw was
very possible
was on.
It was going to be close no matter what happened, and the worst of all things, as you said, the last thing you want to have happen is to get by you, and now the Tigers have 2 in scoring position with only 1 out in the top of the 7th inning, and you've got no margin left because you just can't get it. You let them get a run, and then all of a sudden it puts all the pressure on your bats. And the bats have only come up with one hit or 1 run, in 6 at-bats. Benji Hudson up 0 for 2. Popped out to first base and flied out to center field his last trip up.
Infield's in now. Everybody's right at the grass. Johnson stepping toward third again. Nothing happening there.
I would imagine Wellborn will stay very close to the bag. There's no reason for him to do anything silly.
There's the pitch. The boy gets stopped by Evan there. The ball getting away. Wasn't even close to the strike zone.
If you're Wellborn, you want to stay close to third because, in the infield, anything, you can stay if you want to, and also you want to be there to tag up on a if there's a fly ball to the outfield.
Absolutely. The 1-0 from Johnson. Breaking pitch right in there. Whoa, he doesn't get the call. High.
Little up. Little up.
2 balls, no strikes. No, he's been consistent on that. We got that call earlier.
Right, right.
That's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Broadway like this elevated platform now. This really helps.
Yep, got us about an extra 10 inches of working space up above that railing.
Thanks to who?
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones, that's right.
Yep.
Uh-oh, that ball's hit. That's going to drop. We're going to get 1 run. It's going to hold the runner. Ball into the center field. So the Tigers take the lead here in the top of the 7th, 2-1. So this is really starting to get a bad feel.
Bad vibe. The bottom of the Tiger order. The bottom of the Tiger order is come through.
That's the first hit.
That's his first hit of the season.
Off of Johnson, nonetheless.
Yeah. Yep. Pitch was up just a little bit. That brings up Nick Bland. Bland walked and scored on a 9-pitch at bat.
And then the guy with the RBI on deck.
On deck.
Bland calls time. Nick Bland. Runners at the corner. He's gone, uncontested. So that'll be some runners at second and third again now. We didn't even try to bait the runner at third to come with a quick throw back to the pitcher or anything.
No.
Bland at the plate now with 1 ball, no strikes.
You got to get this guy out, then you can intentionally walk. Sure, if you want to.
Johnson steps again, and
Chase Dowell has moved to third base, and just wasn't close enough to the bag to make it worth a throw.
Here's the pitch. Ball outside. Evans was set up outside. The ball was a little up and a little
more out, yeah.
2 balls, no strikes. There's a swing and a miss on a fastball away. Down at the knees. Good pitch by Johnson. If he could live right there, I think he'd be in business.
Yep.
Bland wasn't even close to that pitch. There it is again. Same result. Same pitch, same result.
Yep.
What do you think? Go with it again?
Oh, absolutely. Number 9 hitter doesn't have a hit on the season.
Oh, he didn't get time called quickly enough, but he gets a ball outside. Full count now to Bland. Good job by Johnson not to balk or something there because the batter had his hand up in the air.
To ask for time. Yep.
And he does walk inside. So bases are juiced now.
And now you got nowhere to put their big hitter. Right here, tripled his last time up, drove in the first run.
Corners, well, everybody's staying in.
Up. Yep. You got to come to the plate instead of unless you get a hard one hopper to Brendan Dowell at second base. You've got to come to the plate for the force out instead of.
Well, could we get like a 1 hopper right back to the pitcher's man?
Oh, then you could go. Yeah,
1, 2, 3 double play.
But you got to get the force out at home.
There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Good pitch by Trent. Absolutely.
Sure, 1 for 3 on the day. Struck out, flied out, but that triple.
Time called there again, but boy, it's late.
See, that time he gave the time, whereas with the previous hitter, he didn't give the time.
The 0-1 now. Johnson set up. Again, you see it, infield in. Tigers already on top. 2-1 here in the top of the 7th. There's a shot down the right field line. Just a kind of a defense curveball up in the zone, but not much he could do with that.
Yep. Put a bat on it and get it out of play.
2 strikes now. Johnson with the leverage. Trying to call time again. Strike 3 right there. He can't, the umpire's looking at the pitcher. That's why I say you gotta voice that. You can't just put your hand up. You need to yell time at the same time.
Yep.
You're an umpire.
Yep, that's exactly right. Just sticking your hand up, especially when the pitcher's on the rubber and is getting ready and is starting his motion. You're just not gonna. You just don't get that called time. That was a huge strikeout for Johnson. I mean, gigantic strikeout.
Oh, that's huge.
So now you can put your infield back to whatever depth you want. So because an out at any base gets you out of the inning. Zach Defoe is up. He does have a single, however.
There's a nice pitch in there for a strike on the slider from Johnson.
Yeah, this is the guy that Johnson came in. So he's going around the rotation now, around the order. Defoe struck out twice. Struck out to Johnson.
Gets a bat on that curveball out of Edwards heading toward it again. He's going to jump and he almost got it. Jeez. Like Spider-Man over there climbing the fence.
He just shoot his web out of his hand and pull it.
Trying to jump on that.
I don't know. Did you get a look at that when he almost chewed off a piece of that dugout top?
Yeah.
Chasing that other foul ball over
that
in the
game.
Looked
a little scary.
I didn't hit you with my pen. 2 strikes.
Another 0-2 now. Will he come back with that slider here? Here it is. And he does, but it's going to drop in there for a base hit. Wow. Hung it right over the heart of the plate. Didn't get it down where he wanted. That's an 0-2. Yeah. That's a bad pitch.
That's a pitch. That a pitch that a pitching coach ain't going to like very much.
No. Athenians just, a lot of part of their game is just not on.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight with the 3
runs. Yeah, the 3 runs is one thing. It's just I'm surprised that and who knows? There's still a bottom of the 7th to come up and get some runs, but it's just this and this and this and this. And it's a rivalry game. Things always go crazy when you play Lebanon.
Coach Frode's back out again. Caleb Myers at the plate now.
Okay, so Coach Frode just checking to make sure he's got a legal visit, or that a coach has a legal visit. And he sends Coach Welliver out. John, I got to get your count here. 3, 6, 14, 17, 20, 30 pitches already in this inning for Johnson. That gives him 40 pitches for the day. So I'm sure he's got enough to get one more guy out. I'm sure that's what Coach Welliver is asking. And just, this season is more than about tonight.
Yeah. What's Myers hitting on the year? Because I know he's
278.
He's got some power.
Yep. He has not. He has an F8. He flew out to center his first time up in the first inning. He was walked intentionally in the 4th and struck out on 4 pitches in the 6th. 5 runs, 5 hits, 6 RBIs on the season for Myers.
Slider away for ball 1. Just got a score from the Frankfort North Montgomery game. North Montgomery won 6-1.
Okay.
So North Montgomery still undefeated in the conference. There's a fastball rides high. So 2 balls, no strikes. Now the scoreboard's lagging behind by 1 pitch. The umpire trying to help him out. There, they caught up. The 2-0 now with 2 outs. Number 12 at the plate. Swings at that breaking ball for strike 1. Good pitch there from Johnson.
Yes, it was.
It looks like the wind's kind of blowing in toward us now.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe kind of straight from the north, possibly. It's
just
kind
a
of weird,
bit.
though. It is
Yep.
kind of.
It swirled a little bit. I know the goofy weather all week long.
There's fastball in. 3 balls and a strike now. Yeah, not really blowing hard. I mean, probably between 5 and 10 mile an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Not really a factor, but. So
3-1?
3-1 now with the bases loaded. Johnson's got to go to the plate, and he does with the... Whoa! Where was that? What do you think
That was a strike. That's all it was. That pitch was a strike. But it is not called a strike. And that gives Myers an RBI as it forces in Hudson for the 3rd run of the inning.
Big inning here by the Tigers.
Oh, wow. Three runs this inning makes it 4-1.
Swing and a miss on the fastball there by Bland. That's the first fastball he's seen in a while.
Yep, Jackson Bland struck out twice and put a nubbler out in front of home plate that Evans threw him out at first base his last trip up. Ninth batter of the inning for the Tigers.
They're going after him with the fastball after him seeing that heavy dose of breaking pitches on his previous at-bat.
Yep.
But I bet he sees a bender here.
I would think.
No balls, 2 strikes now. Trent Johnson with the advantage here against Jackson Bland. Just keep it down. That's a ground ball right to the shortstop, and he throws across
It's over to Brendan Dalby. Yep.
For the fielder's choice to retire the Tigers now, but the Tigers do the damage here, score 3 runs in the top of the 7th now with a 4-1 lead. Athenians coming to bat.
3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error. Every error is gigantic, but it was an error that led to a run, and it was Crawfordsville's first error of the game, and there were 3 left on base. So, Darryl, I'll get a Trent Johnson pitch count here in a second.
Well, Coach Rhodes is talking about that I think that like the last 6 games they hadn't made an infield error after making several errors early in the season, and then
38 pitches for Trent.
Wow.
You can tell it had to be just a little bit of getting tired.
Yeah.
Missing on some spots, and that last guy he walked, that was a strike. It was just that simple.
Yeah.
But it wasn't called it, so you move on from there.
Well, time for the Athenians to go to work here now.
This will be the miracle. This will be the miracle on 38th Street.
Hayden Parker on the mound will start off Sam Lucas. So we're really where we want to be in the lineup.
Bottom and top.
9-1-2.
Lucas struck out his first time up. Got hit by a pitch.
High fastball above his head. Ball 1.
Scoring 3 runs is completely seeable. I mean,
that hit him.
That did hit him.
On the helmet again. That's the second time he's been hit in the head.
Yep.
Coach Cosgray making his way out of the dugout here. Yes, he's asking what to hit him. He's having wants help.
Yep.
Well,
and the home plate umpire, I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it click off the top of his helmet.
Yeah.
But it changed. It was coming at his head, yes, and then it changed direction. It flicked off his helmet and elevated. So, yeah, it did hit him. There was no question about that. So, leadoff hitter is on.
Well, that's what we want.
Yep. Crawfordsville has gotten leadoff hitter on the last 4 innings in a row, but have only scored 1 run.
How many innings of work has Parker had this year? Do you have that information?
I do. Hang on here.
There's a first pitch in there for a strike at the knees to Johnson.
Almost below the knees. I'm not going to whine.
Lucas with a short lead over at first. Obviously, the Athenians needing lots of runners on. There's a ball high. Ball and a strike now.
Parker. Hold on. Been blowing my papers around.
Lucas with about a 2-step lead over there at first base. Johnson turns on one. That's going down. Is it going to stay fair? If it is, it's a home.
Nope.
No, foul. If that was fair, I think it might have carried over.
Yep.
Just got just about 5 feet foul there.
Checking
So now he's got 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yes. Parker has 1. He had pitched before today at 7 innings pitched. He had 1 of the wins. They've given up 3 hits. So, okay numbers for the...
Wow, strikeout to Johnson. That'll bring up number 2. Brendan Dowell
laid down a sacrifice in the first inning and has 2 singles from that point on. 2 singles to short right field.
Well, we need base runners. So higher he can get on. There's a... Oh, it's called a ball. Well, the umpire's got me guessing a little bit.
Yep.
Temperature's dropping. I'm going to have to reach over there and put my coat on, I think, here in a moment. There's a pitch called strike. Ball and a strike now. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right to the second baseman. This could be 2. There's over to first. No play for the speedy Dow hustling down to second, but that's the second out of the inning. So the Athenians down to their last out now.
Dow put him play on the right side, which he's done 2 other times, but didn't find quite enough snap on it. And the other 2 times he coasted over the second baseman, and this time it was just a routine ground ball to second. He got the force out.
Well, Caden Jones, what did he do? I know he's flied out.
He's 0 for 2. 2 center field flyouts and an intentional walk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Fastball outside and high, ball 1. Well, this would be quite a victory for the Tigers because with Schaller out of the game with that knee injury and, not their best pitcher on the mound. Now where was the hesitation in that pitch there? I didn't see it. Ball 2. 2-0 now. Got a timeout. Coach O'Neill
back out.
A trip to the mound here.
This will be his second trip out.
Well, we've talked about the Athenians scoring runs with 2 outs. They're going to have to do it tonight.
Yep. You cannot be more backed into a corner than they are right now. So this would, a loss here would undo a log jam at the top of the Sagamore Conference. And you mentioned it, Dale. What a huge win it would be for Lebanon. My gosh, they've just struggled so much all year long. And but this isn't over yet. Crawfordsville's got some good guys at the plate and have shown the ability to score runs. So, well, a base hit and a base hit all of a sudden changes things.
The 2-0 right on the outside corner for strike 1. Brendan Dow down at first. There's the pitch. Jones fouls it right back straight here behind, or in front of the screen toward us. Deuce is wild on the board now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jones down to the last strike. The Athenians at their last out. Dow trying to mess with the pitcher over there, and that ball almost hit him. It did hit him. He says it didn't. Now, he didn't lean into that. Yeah, he was just in his box. That ball hit him in the leg. He didn't breaking pitch. Breaking pitch from a right-hander, comes over and hits a left-handed guy in the box.
Runs the count full.
See, I didn't see that hesitation again. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. He's going to come out and make a play. No play, though. That'd be an infield hit by Jones.
So Jones is on first, one way or the other.
Well, that'll bring up Dow.
Dow 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 4th. Flied out, and hit a rocket. He's the guy that hit the rocket that the third baseman snared in the fifth inning that would have scored at least one run.
Well, the tying run's at the plate now, Jeff. There's a ball.
Yep.
Low. Ball one.
Dowell, 11 hits, now 12 hits on the season, 15 RBIs.
There, I hear him. Now, there's nothing you can do about that one.
Wonder if he leaned into that one.
He can't argue that one. Hayden Parker now has bases juiced with 2 outs. And the winning run comes to the plate.
I'm much more thinking about that guy at first. I want him across first, and I'll take everything else from there.
Yeah.
But Weston Evans on the season, 222 hitting. He is 0 for 2 on the season, 2 ground outs to shortstop. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning and was stranded at third base. 8 hits, 8 RBIs on the year for Evans. He's got 3 doubles.
Evans steps in. There's a ball outside, so Parker's feeling the pressure a little bit, I think, now, Jeff.
I would sure think so.
But he's still in the driver's seat. I mean, you got a 4-1 lead. You just need 1 out.
All you do now, you just got to throw strikes. Don't do anything crazy.
Don't be afraid.
That was in the dirt.
There's one of them. So that takes away the force play, too, now.
Yep.
Which is big.
So the Athenians move 270 feet. 3 guys moving on wild pitch.
4-2. So now you've got a base hit, probably ties it up.
Base hit to the right spot.
And the gap would tie it up.
Yeah.
Evans has that capability.
Oh, yeah. And Chase Dowell's got plenty of speed, so Dowell could easily score.
There he gets a strike. That's all he had to do is, we're up there making him throw strikes. 2 balls and 1 strike now.
Oh, wow.
Hit the pitcher.
And that's going to score 2 runs.
Here comes, no throw. Boy, that hit the pitcher hard. Check him out.
Yeah.
I don't know where it hit him, but
I think it got him. I think it got him in the arm.
That was a rocket.
That was an absolute blast off the bat of Evans.
Yeah, I'll get a free.
Yep.
To check him out here, but wow, that's huge, Jeff.
Oh my goodness.
Who would have thought? We're down to our last out, the last strike.
Last strike. Mangold comes in to run, and Weston Evans is now the big hero, and Parker's coming out. So he's had a fairly long stretch of relief pitching, but now I do not know the high school rules well enough to. No, I don't know if in an injury situation, will this new pitcher get as many warm-up pitches as he needs?
Yeah. I don't know. Was it determined an injury or was it just changing pitchers?
Well, he may use Coach Cosgrave can use the injury, so we just got to see now because let me get my numbers here. Yeah, because he's taken Parker completely out of the game. Parker has gone to the dugout, and number 8, Cooper Ferris, has come back in. So Ferris is now in. The third baseman, Zach Defoe, is now warming up. So the substitution is easy enough for Lebanon as they bring Ferris. He re-enters for Parker. And that, as we mentioned, is going to bring in Zach Defoe. Well, Dale, Crawfordsville gets 3 runs with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Is there one more miracle left?
Well, you're playing for the win now.
Yes, indeed.
Coach Cosgrave just did holler over to the Athenian dugout to ask for the trainer.
Yep.
So, yeah, he took a shot. I thought it hit him on this.
It hit him on some part of the arm. It did because if it hadn't hit him on the arm, it would not have bounced so far. If it had hit him in the ribs, the ball would have died.
Yeah.
You know, it would have died probably right on him, but it hit him on the arm. It could have hit him on the elbow, and it bounced all the way out into right field, and that allowed the ball. That allowed both runs to score. So
Boy, give it to Parker though, man. He didn't even flinch, you know, like he didn't go down.
Nope.
Never asked for anybody to come out. He was ready to.
Zach Defoe. Yep, Zach Defoe has 4 innings of work on the season. So.
And you said we got the pinch runner over there at first.
Courtesy runner's Mangold.
Ball 1 high.
Blackburn is officially 0 for 1 after this pitch.
Good hitter though.
Yep.
There's a strike on the outside
corner.
What is his average?
Blackburn struck out in the second, sacrifice bunt in the fourth, and then was hit by a pitch in the sixth.
Sacrifice bunt was by Kellerman batting for him.
That's correct. That was a pinch hitter. So he is 0 for 1. Thank you very much. Let me mark that down properly. Blackburn on the season 262 as a hitter. He has 11 runs, 7 RBIs, 11 hits. So
he swings at a high fastball there. Got a little anxious.
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Getting encouraged by Coach Frojo. You know, hey, good cut. Way to be aggressive.
And now Crawfordsville's got to quickly get somebody up in the bullpen because I would bet that other $5 back again that Trent Johnson is done pitching.
Well, they got 2 guys down there right now. There's ball 2 high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 20 at the plate. I suppose I'll wait till it gets to full before they send the runner.
Yeah.
Oh, he fouls that one off. Good job there by Blackburn. Pitch kind of up and away.
Just put a piece on it.
I don't know. I'd be tempted to run the guy here. Oh, boy, nice breaking pitch there.
Fooled him totally with her off speed.
Yeah. Settled right in there for called strike 3.
Now that ends the inning. Crawfordsville scores 3 runs. 3 runs on 2 hits. Yep. There were no errors and 1 left on base. Well, as they say.
Not over till it's over, and
isn't that the truth?
What a comeback. How many times have you seen that, though, here by the Athenians? I mean, they just... And I think, again, we should mention, you know, the number of runs they score with 2 outs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of those came with 2 outs. And down to the last strike. Lebanon needed 1 strike, and the game was over, and the Athenians come back and score 3 runs.
Here's how it's set up, Joe, just to remind everybody. Lucas comes up, gets hit by a pitch. Trent Johnson, you know, team captain and leading leadoff hitter, strikes out. Then Brendan Dowell, on a fielder's choice, forces out Lucas. So you've got Brendan Dowell at first base with 2 outs, and it all starts from there. Caden Jones comes up with an infield hit deep into the hole, and then Chase Dowell is hit by a pitch, and then Weston Evans hits the pitcher with a single that scores 2 runs. So who would have thought? 3 runs, all 3 are earned. Looking at Parker's final numbers here, he did not walk a hitter, and he struck out Johnson. That was his only K. And so that now gives us Defoe. Folks, just keeping track of all the paperwork here as we go along. So we got free baseball.
One thing, he's talking about Johnson being out there. We had a report that when he was, I know he's not out there now, but when he was pitching in Lebanon, we had a report he was like working at 85, 86 and hit 88.
No kidding.
When he was pitching over there.
Look who's pitching. Chase Dowell has come back in.
That's the beauty of high school baseball. You can do that. Here's Chase with the first pitch. That's a ball down. Fastball. Just kind of overthrew that one.
Yep. Lebanon went around the order against Johnson the last time in the top of the 7th. So 6 runs were scored in the 7th inning.
Well, he's down again now.
The new pitcher for Crawfordsville is number 23, Chase Dowell.
There's a fastball right in there.
Strike.
At the belt for a strike. There's a line drive right up the middle. Hit it where it's thrown.
Yep.
That's number 10, Stanball.
Yep.
That's
That
his
is-
second hit on the year?
Nope. Yes, his second hit on the season. First of the day. He is now 1 for 4.
Now batting number 8, Cooper Ferris.
And Cooper Ferris this is his first trip to the plate.
Ferris is a junior.
Yep.
Checked in after that injury.
To Parker.
Diving, or basically falling back to the base, his Stanball.
Yep.
Very short lead over there. Dow just wants him to make sure he's aware. A little bit bigger lead now, but leaning back toward first. Bunt popped up. Dow catches it. Good job of running there by Stanball to retreat quickly back to the base. So Lebanon gives us an out there.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
The first baseman.
Coming up on 8:30, Jeff. Almost 2.5 hours into this contest.
This one. Yep. Getting closer and closer to the deadlines. plenty of time. Plenty of time. I still got some prep work to do. I got Minnesota and Illinois tomorrow for the Big Ten Network. So late start though. It's an 8 o'clock start. We're the third game of a triple header on the Big Ten Network tomorrow.
Curveball in there. Not called a strike. Must have been a little low. 1 ball. Batter is the original starting pitcher, Tyler Wellborn, the sophomore. Throwing over again is Johnson.
Dowell.
Or I'm sorry. I'm trying to multitask, and obviously I'm not very good
Here
here.
we go. It's quite all right. We're going to help you out.
I was just seeing if you were paying attention. Another throw over.
A little closer, but not.
I did read your article today. I heard you touching on that briefly earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately couldn't make it to your celebration. I wanted to come, but
There we go. Runner going.
Fouled back out of play.
Little hit and run there. He was kind of 1-1. We had a great time. My sister from South Dakota and her husband drove out to over 650 miles to come out. So now she was able to go up to Chicago to see her son, my nephew, the next day, and he finished working on his master's thesis, did his dissertation work whilst they were up there too. So a little extra, but they came out, and my sister from Valparaiso and her fiance came down, and that nephew drove down from Chicago. So pretty incredible, a mini family reunion to come out and celebrate an old guy's birthday.
Well, I don't think you're an old guy.
Oh, you know what? I try not to think that.
Well, there's a curveball in for strike. Off with the pitch was the runner. Can't quite reach back and get the tag. Ball a little underthrown.
Yep.
So a stolen base by the Tigers. Now, your birthday was
It was actually the end of March.
So you're about a year and less than 2 weeks older than me then. So, see, I'll be having that same celebration next year. So.
Oh, very good. Very good. That's the 4th stolen base by the Tigers tonight.
Runner at second now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wellborn at the plate.
Yeah, I did 4 high school basketball championship games on my birthday. I was busy. I had a 17-hour day at Indianapolis, so the Tigers got a guy in scoring position.
There's a ball chopped toward right. It's going to fall in. No, good job by Abney to come up with it. Get it knocked down. There you go,
Don't
Trent.
throw it out of the way. That's it.
But I thought that was going to fall in between Jones and Abney. I'm glad there wasn't a collision out there because Jones is about 3 times
Yes.
of Abney.
That would have left a couple of marks on Abney.
There would have been some loose parts there.
Flying parts.
Flying parts on that, right?
Yeah. Abney had a bead on it, and I think Jones knew that. Jones might have been able to get to it, but he gave up on it enough, and Abney was able to get around him. So registers the second out, and that brings up Benji Hudson, who got his first hit of the year, his last trip up.
Curveball hit toward the right field, and Jones is over to make the play. So the Tigers strand the runner at second. Tied 4-4. The Athenians coming to bat, looking for a W here now.
Yes, not quite so much an air of desperation as it was being down 3 runs going into the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah. A little better feeling when you're not pressured to score something, but you can have the W if you do.
Yep. Although now, depending on how the scenario goes, the Chase Dow is now up to 92 pitches. He had 82 in his first 5+ innings of work, and only needed 10 pitches to put away Lebanon this time. So, let's just hope the Yellow Bats can put one up and end this thing, and not worry about who's going to pitch next. So the bottom of the order coming up for Crawfordsville, it'll be Peyton Abney and then Tommy Edwards and Sam Lucas. They have not scored any runs thus far today. Abney is technically 0 for 2. Lined out, or he tried to put a bunt down and got that started in a double play. But he got the sacrifice fly in the 4th that scored Chase Dow. That was Crawfordsville's first run, and then he reached on an error in his first trip to the plate. Tommy Edwards is 0 for 3, and Sam Lucas is technically 0 for 1. He's been hit twice.
Have you ever heard of Domingo Ayala? Domingo Ayala? I think I say his name.
Okay.
I'll have to tell you about that sometime. If you like funny baseball stuff,
there we go.
It's good.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Bottom of the 8th. Boy, that almost hits Abney.
Yep.
Coach Rhodes
working on the inside. Yep. This is still Zach Defoe, who came in after
the injury. Ball high now, so 2 balls, no strikes. Hayden Parker was hit by the line drive off the bat of Evans. It actually scored 2 runs. Here's the 2-0. That's high, ball 3. So, well, if we can get the leadoff runner on, we know what's coming next.
Yeah, no kidding.
Trying to just get a runner in scoring position to get the win. Ball 4 pitches.
So after Defoe comes in and strikes out Blackburn to get out to end the threat and end the 7th, he walks Abney on 4. Edwards is not coming to the plate. This is
the pitcher for Crawfordsville is number 5, Ethan McKinney.
Ethan McKinney.
McKinney is senior. Coach Rhodes call him down for a few more instructions here.
Coach obviously thinking the senior is going to be a better bunter than Edwards. Abney will only get a couple of steps off at first base so far. And that's all he's going to get, too. He is living cautiously over there.
First pitch up there high, ball 1.
Well, you know what, Daryl, the situation here is that's 5 balls in a row. So now you just take pitches. You take until you get a strike, and then you put your bunt down.
Absolutely. Short lead over at first. There's the strike.
Yep.
Ball to strike now. Obviously, Crawfordsville just trying to move the runner to second here, and he's not looking to steal. Squares to bunt. He's
in the air,
but it's going to fall. That the runner had to hold, so that's going to be a force out at second. Just couldn't tell if anybody was going to catch that. Definitely don't want to get doubled up.
No. So the force out goes 5 to. Is it the shortstop up there? 5 to 6. I think it was. Not that it matters very much. So McKinney is on first on the fielder's choice. That brings up Sam Lucas. Sam, as we said, 0 for 1, has reached base twice by being hit. Pitch outside. So do you sacrifice do you give up another out to get this guy at second base, figuring that Johnson's going to be due?
Doesn't look that way. There's a high strike call. Ball and a strike. Yep. Here we go. Ball and strike now.
Bottom of 8. There's a throw.
Back safely is McKinney. McKinney on with the fielder's choice. Lucas squaring early.
Showing it. Pitch up.
Ball high. That might be a good effect to throw the pitcher off a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
2 balls and a strike.
See if Sam can work this count. We'll see what happens.
Here's the pitch. High again. 3 balls and a strike. Good job. That's a fastball. Good job by Lucas to pull back on that 3-1 count now.
Oh, you got to think he's got to be getting a take sign, don't you?
Or a fake bunt.
Well, same thing. Yep.
So, yeah. The 3-1 scoring early, and he takes strike 2 right in there. That's a good one to bunt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That happened in another game with Lebanon in the sectional. Full count, 3-2 pitch, ball 4, walk in the winning run.
Oh, my.
That was in, I forget. Oh, look at that. Fake the bunt. Squared. That's not gonna, well, they're throwing toward third. Good job by the third baseman to knock the ball down. So McKinney going first to third on the hit. Good job by Lucas. Showing bunt, faking bunt, and then hitting.
Yes.
I missed that call.
No, you sure did. Didn't smell that one.
That was on a 3-2.
3-2 pitch. 3-2 pitch, absolutely.
So another big play with 2 strikes on the batter. So we've had a couple of...
And Johnson's getting an intentional walk.
Now, here's the thing. What do you think about squeezing with the bases loaded?
You know what? I'm not afraid. I've seen everything with this team over the course of the years.
Well, Coach Fudge has done it, I think, one time in his career.
Okay. So, Brendan Dowell.
Can you sit down so I can see third base? Thanks.
Brendan Dowell has scored a run. He has 2 base hits, so...
There's a ball low.
So, Coach Cosgray elects to go, instead of pitching to Johnson, who is 0 for 2 on the day, and pitch to Brendan Dowell, who is 2 for 3 on the day.
So they requested, they just drew the line in the in the dirt, saying that Dow was too close to the batter's box.
Sure. And he is close. He is really close.
There's ball down in the dirt. 2 balls, no strike. Bases loaded, 1 out, base hit anywhere wins the ball game. There's a strike called. 2 balls and a strike now. Dowell's poked, has he got, a couple to right field?
Yes.
Over that second baseman's head. We get one of those here, we're in business.
Both of his base hits have been there.
Oh, swings through the fastball. That was up a little bit in the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Time called. Just in the nick of time.
Yes.
All the infielders are in on the grass for Lebanon. Obviously, they've got a gun down the run at home. A foul ball. Good job staying alive there by Dowell. Brendan Dowell Jr., kind of a utility kind of guy. I think he could play about anywhere. Plays second, short.
Yep.
Pitches.
Yep, done some pitching.
Does a great job pitching.
Yep.
Here's the pitch. Outside. Loads it up. Full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. A walk here.
Ends it.
Oh, he swings through the fastball. That was up a little bit in the zone again. He swings through it.
Yep.
Now, they got to pitch to Jones.
You got to pitch to Caden Jones.
If you're a competitor, you live for moments like this.
Yep. This is what you lay in bed if you're a kid, you're a baseball player. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the last inning, bottom of the 8th, in extra innings. Jones has an infield single. That was his last trip up. Walked intentionally, flew out twice.
Well, a sac fly, if you hit one of those to the center fielder like he's been doing the first 2 at-bats, that would be enough to score the run, probably.
Except there's 2 outs.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they got the second out up there.
Second, a sac fly.
My bad.
Sac fly doesn't happen anymore. But it's a nice thought.
It was a good thought.
It was a good thought. Ball 1, Jones. All right. Wow. So the inside corner pitch that wasn't called is offset by the outside pitch that wasn't a strike. Yeah. So I think the count should be 1-1, but both pitches were wrong.
There's ball 2, breaker to tongue.
Yep. It's going to take a base hit or something.
Foul back into the net. Pitcher's working fast. There's a lot of times I think he's borderline even getting that pause.
You mentioned it. You mentioned it a couple times. Is there a pause? So don't think you're going to get any balk calls this time of the day.
No. They haven't called it early. They're not going to call it now.
Right.
There it is. Maybe. Right fielder moves over.
He does.
Makes the catch.
Nice catch.
Diving catch there by the right fielder. Who's out there in right now?
Oh, gosh, I'll have to look. They've moved around so many different guys. Who's bringing the ball in? Keep an eye on him.
Oh, that's Bland. Isn't it? I think that's Nick Bland.
Until he turns around. It is number 5.
On to the 9th.
Nick Bland. So the Athenians, no runs on 1 hit. A walk, a single, and an intentional walk. No errors, and left full again.
I think we should just shut down and go home because I want to beat the crowd out of here, Jeff.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, all right. Well, extra innings have been my specialty this year. I had a 10-inning game with North and Central Catholic in week 1, and then had I had a second one somewhere. So, 9th inning, Chase Dowell, 92 pitches. So between that and then the 48 that Trent Johnson threw guarantees that Crawfordsville will not be throwing 1 and 2 this weekend.
How many did you say Dowell's at right now?
92.
Yeah.
92 so far. So,
yeah, we're getting to the point where you start running out of pitching. And
yep. And the defensive hero gets to start things off for Lebanon here in the top of the 9th inning. Nick Bland, officially 0 for 1 on a fly ball out his first trip up. He has walked twice and scored a run.
What's he done on the year?
He has no hits.
That's surprising because I know he's a good athlete, good player, I think.
Takes a strike. He has scored now 2 runs on the year. He didn't have a whole lot of plate appearances, so there may have been something where he didn't, he may have missed a couple games or something like that.
There's a ball low, evens the count of the ball on a strike.
Yep.
Dow from the windup. Ground ball foul. Good fastball in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. 4 runs on 4 hits and 1 error for the Tigers. 4 runs and 6 hits and 1 error for the Athenians. It's been a well-played ball game, really.
It has.
Good competitive conference game. Ground ball toward the first baseman. He bobbles it. Can't come up with it. That'll be an E3.
Sure will. Crawfordsville's second error of the day. That third hop, there was two hops, and then when it got to the skin of the infield, it picks up a little extra movement, and Edwards got it off his chest, and then it bounced too far in front of him before he could recover, get the ball, and throw it over to Dowell covering. So
he did the right thing. He went down to block the ball. The only thing I would like to see was maybe come and meet the ball instead of waiting back on it. And maybe he catches that hop a little better.
Yep.
Who knows?
But it brings up Bryce Shearer. Shearer gets timeout. Shearer tripled and drove in a run in the 6th inning. Struck out twice, flied out.
Dowell throws over to first, diving back. safely is Bland.
Yep. Trent Johnson had to strike this guy out because he was up with bases loaded.
Curveball misses just low. Yeah, you mentioned Shear's hit all the way to the wall to out there in the left alley.
Yep, his second triple of the year. Throw over.
Bland diving back again. Track still going on over here.
There's a lot of athletes over there. It must be a pretty good sized track meet.
Dow throws again. Easily back is Bland. I mean, what's easily as they've stolen second base all game long, why would you not try to steal and put your winning run there with no outs?
Yeah. Or at least the go-ahead run.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. The potential winning run.
Yep. Yeah, the Tigers have 4 stolen bases. There he goes.
The ball's inside. We got a good throw, but he's safe. That was closest we've had all night. That was a great throw. I don't know if we had a mix-up on who was supposed to cover there. Of course, I guess because you play the pull, Johnson was playing, and then he got a late break there, kind of the plate. Usually in that situation, you have the second baseman cover, but unless they know that Shear's not going to hit it to the left side, but that's where he hit that one. He shows bunt right back to the mound. I think we had to play at third if we went over there. Dow takes the Shear out over at first.
But it does move that runner up.
So with one out, the go-ahead run, as Jeff correctly corrected me on, is at third base. That'll bring up
Zach Defoe.
Number 3, Defoe, the current pitcher.
Yep, 2 hits on the day, and 2 strikeouts. Single on an RBI. Last time up, single in the 4th. Sandwiched around a couple of Ks.
Dow with the pitch. They do show bunt. Safety. Here comes the runner. Here comes the throw. He jumped over. Did he touch the plate?
Got to tag him.
Go tag him. I don't think he touched the plate. We got to find. Which one is he? Number 5. Number 5. He didn't. I think he jumped over and didn't touch the plate.
He's out at first.
He's out. He can't jump. He's got a slip.
Why is he standing at first? He's obviously out there.
He didn't even hit the plate.
Umpires have.
These guys have been worked over pretty hard today.
Learn the rules, please.
Well, this will be an interesting discussion to be a little microphone close by.
What I don't get is why is the runner still standing at first? They think we missed the bag at first or something?
I thought he called him out. Didn't he call him out at first, or did he call him safe?
Could have called him out. He called it twitching, which is safe.
Oh, he changed his call.
He changed call.
Oh, he changed his call to first base.
I don't know if Coach even knows that. Well, the guy, I don't think, he probably wasn't even watching.
No, the guy.
Yeah, they did.
The umpire at first base. He has no way of. All right, now the runner. The batter has come across. Got a hunch. The video will be called up tonight and looked at.
Yeah. Yeah, you had a good shot on that, didn't you, Duggar?
Yep. So that brings up Caleb Myers. 2 outs, runner in though.
The scoreboard's lagging behind. Is that?
Nope, they got a 5-4.
I mean the outs though.
Right. Strike.
You said it is 2 outs.
There are 2 outs. 2 sacrifice bunts in a row.
Yeah. Ball in the dirt.
Ball in the dirt.
Foul. Top of the 9th here.
The number 9 hitter reaches on an error and leads off. That's the second time that has happened.
There's a ball called, pitched down, called a ball.
So Nick Bland, who is still looking for his first hit of the season, has scored 2 runs today.
There's a strike right at the hand, or at the waist. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
The Athenians are in the middle of the order, 4, 5, and 6 when they come up for the bottom of the 9th.
Ground ball toward third. Brendan Dow up with it, throws across. Nice pick over there by Edwards at first to retire the Tigers.
1 run, no hits. 1 error, no left.
Well, a lot of action around that inning. The Bland diving over the play at home appeared not to touch home plate, but we won't know till later.
That's it. Won't know till we call it up, look it over. So the Crawfordsville back to just as they were in the bottom of the 7th inning, down 3, had to score 3 runs with 2 outs. Now down 1 run here, heading to the bottom of the 9th inning. As we mentioned, Crawfordsville has the middle of the order up. Chase Dow has reached base twice, 1 hit by pitch, has scored twice for the Athenians. Then Weston Evans, whose base hit knocked in knocked in 2 runs, which tied the ball game, and took out Lebanon's pitcher because of how hard he hit him. And then it will be Josh Blackburn. And Blackburn has yet to reach base today. He does have a sacrifice to his credit. Oh, I'm sorry, Blackburn was hit by a pitch. So he's been on base 1 time. So we head to the bottom of the 9th, Mr. Dale Hobson. You calling up the play?
Yeah, I can actually rewind the game.
You can rewind the webcast.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep things going here while you take a look through here to see how far the controversy is going to go. Chase Dow at the plate. He's hit on the first pitch. So Dow was hit for the 2nd time today. Zach Defoe continues to throw for Lebanon. Weston Evans singled, drove in 2 his last time up. 2 ground outs to shortstop. He was also hit by a pitch. So, leadoff hitter on for Crawfordsville, bottom of the 9th inning. Trailing by a run, 5-4 to the Lebanon Tigers. Casual throw over to first base. Here comes, nope. Joe's still looking, he's still getting it wound down to the right minute. Defoe out of the stretch, fires high, ball 1. Evans 8, now 10 RBIs on the season with those 2 his last trip up to the plate. Next pitch. In for a strike. Zach Defoe is the 3rd Lebanon pitcher of the night. Crawfordsville has gone with Chase Dow, Trent Johnson, and then back to Chase Dow. It's a foul ball all the way down the right side. A little inside-out hitting that time for Evans. He now falls behind 1-2. Boy, Defoe is ready to go. He gets the ball back, and he's on the rubber ready. Gets set. Pitch just up. Pitch just up. He hasn't given that strike all day long, Zach, so you can want it all you want. There have been a whole bunch of pitches that have been a little lower than that he's called a ball. 2-2.
I'm sorry to say, I guess if you're watching at home, you probably already know this, but we didn't have the camera in the right position for the play at home.
Okay. Were we looking at first base?
Yes, we're still stuck at first with the camera when the throw came home.
Okay. So there's no convincing evidence.
The hanging pitch fouled straight back.
Foul straight back. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming here for Evans. 2-2. Run at first. Defoe.
Back to the pitcher. Hesitates and throws. He's safe.
He's called safe.
He didn't tag him with the ball. I think he was off the base.
He's going to bring Coach Cosgray out. I'm not exactly sure how that's... So the ruling evidently is that he swiped over the top of him, didn't tag him, and didn't touch the base because he fell on him. I mean, there was contact made.
When he fell on him, he didn't touch him with the ball.
Right.
So he's saying he was off on the throw.
Okay, so
there again,
if we are doing all this, that will give Evans first base on the fielder's choice. There's really not a spot to call an error there because the play to second just was ruled safe. There was not a drop ball, not a bad throw.
Just a fielder's choice.
Yep, fielder's choice for Evans. So the Crawfordsville batters now have got 2 on. Nobody out, bottom of 9. Tying run at second, winning run at first. Josh Blackburn.
The left fielder, Josh
Blackburn 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. And takes a strike. And the Athenians cannot pinch hit for him because Kellerman already did that. So if you pinch hit for him again, you'd lose your center fielder. Bang, there's a bunt down the third base line. Play's got to go to first. It's a 5-3 on the sacrifice. So Blackburn really does a nice job there. Sacrifice 5-3 moves 2 runners into scoring position. And that now puts the first opportunity in the hands of Peyton Abney.
Well, lots of options here, Jeff.
Yep. Blackburn's second sacrifice. Abney has a sacrifice fly that drove in Crawfordsville's first run in the 4th inning, so even that at least ties the ball game.
Well, we could do the old double squeeze here.
Yep.
Try and go for the win.
Yep. Swing. He is swinging for the win.
He's trying to punch it into that. Boy, right there. That's what I'd like to see.
Yep.
Right over that second baseman's head into that.
Abney reached on an air, sacrifice fly as we mentioned, hit into a double play, and walked his last time up.
Boy,
and he got out in front of that one a little bit.
All his weight was out on his front foot. Still hit it a long way, but foul.
Foul. So
now he's in the hole, 0-2.
Yep.
We got to get one. So you got to get one across.
Yep.
Foul ball back. Abney battling to stay alive.
He's going to be super aggressive here, so not wanting to look at the other side of it, but if you're Defoe, you really want to put something.
Get him out with the ball.
Get up, get something up, something out, just something not so bad that your catcher can't handle it.
That's a fastball high. Good 0-2 pitch.
That absolutely is a good 0-2 pitch.
Change his eye level a little bit, maybe. Now you come back with something lower.
Yep. Or another chin-high fastball. 1-2.
Oh, he puts it right in there. So that's maybe we'll tie it. Both runners are tagging. Oh, the left fielder came over and stole the ball. That's going to enable both runs to advance, or both runners to advance. So we tie the game with Dow at home. And we got Dow at third.
Yes.
Kind of like who's on first.
No kidding. So that is Abney's second RBI sacrifice fly of the night. Puts the second out on the board.
That's huge.
And gives Tommy Edwards a little hero option here.
That's huge to get that one run across so we can extend the game at the very minimum.
Very minimum.
Now we're a pass ball away from a win, too.
Yep. Wild pitch, pass ball, base hit, anything. But it's still got to happen.
There's the first pitch. Call the ball. Breaking pitch outside.
Shearer, really. That's the first time he's reacted to a pitch. He really wanted that strike.
That's where he's been calling that one. He's not been given that in the last few innings.
Yep.
Oh, there was a balk. Could have been.
Yep, foul ball.
They're probably not going to call a ball.
I would think not. Not exactly the most. I don't know. Not exactly the most experienced umpiring crew we've had, but.
I mean, if you got a set motion, that you do every time. Well, that time he changed it. Did you notice? He kind of came, then he moved his hands up after he'd stopped.
Coach Froge is howling a couple different times. I know he's been howling for that, but not getting it. Outside.
That's outside again. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He wanted that pitch.
Defoe catches it with his bare hand.
He's got first base open. He can do whatever he wants to here. That's not that big a deal with 2 outs.
Oh no! He got mad.
Wild pitch.
I think the emotions got that.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
So wild pitch enables Dow to come across with a winning run for the Athenians. So in a hard-fought contest here.
Yep. And Dale, don't want to correct you, but one more time, but it was Weston Evans that scored the winning run.
Oh, was Evans at third?
Yes, so but it allows him to score the winning run.
I have to get these glasses checked. You keep correcting me, because
that's all right.
I make a lot of mistakes.
Well, when folks just look at it, I say, God, just get it was guy. So no, it was Evans that scored on that. So crazy. Crawfordsville is down to their last strike with 2 outs in the 7th. Eventually scored 3 runs to tie it. Nobody scores in the 8th. Lebanon gets a run in the top of the 9th, and Crawfordsville gets 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th. But if that's not Sagamore Conference baseball, nothing is.
A lot of comebacks in this one. Crawfordsville just kept battling.
2 runs on no hits in the 9th inning for Crawfordsville.
That's Athenian baseball right there. Well, what it does, it leaves a tie for the first place in the conference with North Montgomery. And we look ahead to conference play. We got the Danville games going next week.
Next Tuesday.
It could come down to the last. Well, of course, Crawfordsville has that Frankfurt contest last year, but it could come down to that last series at the end of the year with North Montgomery.
Yep.
For the conference championship.
Yep.
North Montgomery's really playing really good ball.
They got a big win tonight at home against Frankfurt, so they easily stay undefeated in the Sagamore Conference.
Yeah.
So, but
it's exciting to see that.
Yes.
I know that's what Coach Froge. A few years ago, the Athenians have just been dominating conference play, and now it's competitive, and that's what makes you better in the tournament, really, when you have conference games that are competitive. Plus, we beefed up our non-conference schedule so much that a lot of competitive games. That's just going to make you better.
Yes. No
so I know you've got a deadline to meet.
Yep, and I got to go talk to both sets of coaches, but just finish up with your thought for a second there while I'm getting the last numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Well, it's moving ahead to Saturday. Those Peru and Charleston games coming up, and the Athenians' number 1, number 2 pitcher, as you mentioned earlier, probably not going to be available, maybe just in spot duty.
And that's 2 weekends.
Well, that's 2 weekends. Right.
Well, it's Covington. It's at Benton Central.
I'm moving ahead. Well, still, we do have 2 games coming up, so same situation. Covington or Benton Central and then Covington, right?
Yep. That's Friday, Saturday. At Benton Central tomorrow night, and then Covington home on Saturday. So, quick line score finish up. The Tigers, 5 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors by Crawfordsville, 6 runners left on base. The Athenians scored 6 runs on 6 hits. There was only 1 Lebanon error and 11 of Crawfordsville runners left on base. So, So anyway, I got coaches to talk to, sir. Don't want to leave you high and dry.
Yes, thanks so much.
You can sit here and talk as long as you want.
I appreciate your expertise and everything. Thank you.
And tell Cam again, thanks for hanging around.
All right, I'll do that.
Great.
Thanks. Have a great evening. Well, for Jeff Nelson, this is Zell Hobson saying so long from the complex. Don't forget, check back in for the next contest that we'll have here, and then keep following the Athenians. I want to thank Justin Duggar for his work on the computer and on the camera. So, saying bid you farewell from the complex here. Good night and God bless.